Today's show is brought to you by Lovable. Here we go.
Maud, we're going live in 1 minute. That means we've got time for a quick game. You ready?
15 seconds, I'm in. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Oh, no.
I'm not even like.
Oh no, 20 seconds.
No. Not knocking over pieces. No. I have to make something smart happen.
Oh no, Queen blunder.
No!
I'm sorry. Looks like Farouk is almost getting it done on the board. Should still be a draw. He's losing now suddenly.
He's throwing a thorn into the white side, holding on here for dear life. The nerves are kicking in.
He's playing with Ghost, afraid to commit.
Did he lose on time?
The clock is his worst enemy right now. Oh, look at this. He's trapped his own king in the corner. The black rook is hit as well.
Whoa, is this a blunder?
Checkmate is coming.
Welcome to Title Tuesday, Game Week 9. We're entering the final stretch of the autumn split. Only 5 game weeks remain, and today is a crucial opportunity for players to close the gap at the top of the standings. As always, in the studio, we have Grandmaster David Howell, catching your breath after that crazy game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still recovering. I was guilty of a bit of a dirty flag, so I'm very sorry, Maud.
We do have joining us in the studio today Women FIDE Master Maud Rødsbom, who is hooked on bullet chess. Speed chess is where you shine, Maud.
Well, I think that's where anyone, if there's like a big difference in level, like with me and David, let's be honest, he is a grandmaster, then my best chance is in a bullet game or a hyper bullet game or an ultra bullet game. So that was like the closest I could be, and I was only 1 second away from getting him on time at least.
Incredible. Against the Grandmaster. Now, FIDE Maud is a very familiar face to everyone in Norway. She commentates on Norwegian TV chess all the time, as well as playing, of course. She even participated in Title Tuesday a few weeks ago. I think you scored 3 points.
Yeah, I actually got 4 points because one of them was like a walkover thing, and I got that really early, and I was so annoyed because I had lost like 3 games in a row. Then I got like a free point, and then I had to play against more difficult people. I was like, finally, I'm going to get to play against people at my level. Mm-hmm. So that was a really tough tournament. I think I lost like 6 games in a row until I finally started winning. And at the very end, like a lot of the people who are not doing so well, they leave the tournament. So then it became difficult again. But it was fun to see what it's like, because it's a very intense like 2 hours where you don't have any breaks. You can't go to the bathroom. You just have to sit there and be ready. Mm-hmm. So that was exhausting. Yeah. Rather be in the studio.
Yeah, glad you're here. We're very, very glad to have you here, Maud. With the very cool nickname, I also checked that on Chess.com, Maud sjakker deg, meaning Maud checks you, basically. That's cheeky.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I kind of regret that name, but I made it when I was like 11, I think, so I have to stick with it now.
Yeah. Maud checks you guys. It's cool to have you in the studio. Ready for Game Week 9?
Very ready. I'm very excited to see like who is going to climb on the standings now that like the biggest contenders are out of the tournament, or they're playing other stuff. Yeah. So it will be interesting to see who is going to seize the opportunity to get some more points.
Exactly. Because it is all about qualifying for the Esports World Cup. There are 13 spots in total. Magnus Carlsen as the reigning champion, and then the top 3 players from the Speed Chess Championship and the top 3 players from the Chess.com Global Championship will each go directly to Riyadh next summer. But then, of course, every week in Title Tuesday, the top 10 players score points in the Champions Chess Tour. And at the end of the season, it is the top 6 players in the Champions Chess Tour that qualifies for the Esports World Cup. Here is the current leaderboard with Magnus Carlsen on top. Split 1. is 9 game weeks into it today. And this is how it works, you guys. Title Tuesday, the new format. It's divided into 3 splits, the autumn split, winter split, and the spring split. 13 game weeks in each of the splits. And the split one standing. It's identical to the Champions Chess Tour standings. And the 2 leaders, you guys, Maud mentioned it, Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura, they will not be playing today, and that means the race for points is wide open, and plenty of players will be eager to take the advantage. Players like Alireza Firouzja, Hans Niemann, Jan-Christoph Duda, will they play and seize the opportunity to catch Magnus and Hikaru on the CCT leaderboard? MVL Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is here, but okay. Still none of those players that I mentioned, David. Today is such a big opportunity for them.
It's huge. Magnus number 1, Hikaru number 2. We've been used to saying that for years already, but for everyone else now, the field is wide open. And yeah, 8 minutes to go. I'm pretty sure we'll see most of those names that we saw on the top 10 standings appear a bit later. In the meantime, nice to see Ginger GM, our friend.
Oh, yay!
Among other very strong players who've already signed up.
Exactly. Already 115 players have signed up for Game Week 9. Now we have to talk about why is Magnus and Hikaru not playing? That is because they are tied down to another tournament. They're currently playing the Clutch Chess Champions Showdown. Magnus, Hikaru, Fabi, and Gukesh. What a lineup. And you commentated in the Dave Cave yesterday, David. Day 1 in this tournament. What was it like?
Yeah, day 1 was fun. We started with a clash between 2 world champions. Gukesh, the current world champion. Magnus, of course, the former. Magnus started well, beat Gukesh. Gukesh losing that first game, but suddenly their fates went kind of in reverse order. Magnus ending up on a bit of a low. Gukesh now the leader after defeating Hikaru and Fabiano back-to-back.
Wow. And they're going to start playing in a few hours, so we don't expect to see Magnus, Hikaru, and Fabi and Gukesh signing up for Title Tuesday. That would be a shock. But this tournament that they're playing, it's happening in St. Louis in the USA. And the US is also on top of the country leaderboard, you guys. So far, scored 41 points every single week. Players, they don't only fight for Tuesday glory for themselves, but to score points for their countries. The top 5 players from each country contribute to their nation's point scoring. Norway is not top 10, even if Magnus has won it 3 times.
And also, there's been a lot of other Norwegians participating besides Magnus, because our viewers in Norwegian television, they love when we have somebody else to root for as well. So I'm always like sitting there trying to update everyone on, oh, this Norwegian, and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I've seen like a total of 10 at most participating in a tournament. So that's a bit disappointing. We need more points.
Exactly.
But maybe Håvard can help us today.
Exactly. You mentioned it. Magnus Carlsen will not be playing today, but the biggest talent in Norway right now, he will be playing from Magnus's room, actually. He's playing from the 2882 streaming room. His name is Håvard Haug, 15 years old, a FIDE master, but in blitz chess, you guys. This kid is Grandmaster level. He's beaten many of the world's top players online, including Hikaru, and he's even drawn against Magnus Carlsen in Title Tuesday earlier this year. And not only that, he's beaten David Howell in a game earlier this year.
That's right. I'm sick of the sight of him. But here we go. This was the game. He crushed me with the Alien Gambit.
Wow.
And it was a marathon event, 30 rounds. He was just on fire for most of it. He won 13 games in a row. He is a phenomenon, super speedy, super tricky, and I think he's going to cause some big upsets today.
Wow. It's going to be so cool to follow Håvard, this huge Norwegian talent, in the absence of Magnus Carlsen, even beating Grandmaster David Howell this year, you guys. This kid is on fire, and he's in the building. Let's get to know him.
I'm Håvard Haug. I'm 15 years old, and I'm FIDE master from Norway, and I'll be playing Title Tuesday today. I started chess when I was about 6 years, when Magnus played against Karjakin in 2016. I remember I beat my dad when I was like 7 years old, and I also beat the Grandmaster when I was 9 years old. I think I'm known for blitz. I have always played better in blitz, and I've beaten strong players from a very young age. So I've beaten Hikaru Nakamura. It was in Title Tuesday in April 2024 or something. I beat him in the last round, and I got like 15th place in Title Tuesday, which was my best result at the time. It felt very great, of course. Then I draw with Magnus one time.
Yeah, you don't have to look at a picture of Magnus's wife while you stream with her.
No. I want to become a Grandmaster. It's difficult to become a Grandmaster, but I think in a few years I will be able to make it.
This kid, he is almost 3,000 on chess.com Blitz rating. What chances do you give him, David?
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for him to win the overall event, but in any specific game, he's capable of beating any Grandmaster. He's super dangerous. He's actually played so much over-the-board Blitz just in the last 12 months. He's played over 300 over-the-board Blitz games. He's gained 200 FIDE points just in a quest to qualify for the World Rapid and Blitz Championships later this year. And yeah, he's super sharp. I'm backing him to get a good placement. Maybe top 20 would be a success for him.
And he's played more than 5,000 blind bullet games online, which means that you don't see the pieces. You're just like making the moves on like an empty board. 5,000 games. So it's something he's really like focused on improving. And he's going to the World Rapid and Blitz to participate in the Blitz. So it's going to be very exciting. And the Norwegian audience loves that because that is like a Christmas tradition, and we don't know if Magnus is going to play. He kind of alluded to it the other day, but then at least we can root for Håvard.
Exactly. And at only 15 years old, he's grown up with Magnus Carlsen as the world champion, which must have been so inspiring. What do you see for Håvard in the future, Maud?
Well, I think that when he gets to play even more like over-the-board games, especially in like the longer formats, his rating is going to go up a lot. Like he has 2,500 in Blitz rating, like FIDE. So yeah, he is a Grandmaster of Blitz, a FIDE master now, but that's going to change soon.
Wow. All right, we're going to pay attention to Håvard Haug, but of course, who will win Title Tuesday? It could be Håvard, but there's going to be some big names joining. We do see Jan Pomniachtchi joining now. Jan Christoph Duda is here. Bortnik, Maxim Vajelagrav, Sarana Mogzudlu, the winner from last week. And David, who have you picked out for the ones to watch today?
Yeah, I've chosen 3 players, as is usual at this point. 3 very strong players and 3 of the favorites for this event. Magzudlu, first of all, he won last week's event. He was on fire. He dedicated it very nicely to Daniel Naroditsky as well. And yeah, he's one to watch. Can he do back-to-back victories in this event? I've gone for Alireza Firouzja as well, who was also a close friend of Daniel Naroditsky's. Naroditsky seconding him. Firouzja, he can beat anyone on his day. He's already won 1 Title Tuesday this split. And last but not least, Hans Niemann, another firebrand who can beat anyone on his day and who we hope to see play this week.
Definitely. I didn't see his name yet, but still 2 minutes to go until we kick off Game Week 9. 240 players so far. 2 minutes to go until we start. Let's kick off Game Week 9.
Oh, and look at this. No. He's winning this early in the game. It's a blunder by Nepo. 2 seconds left for Nepo. 1 second. He's running out of time, and Elham wins on the clock.
Horrible.
Goodness.
Horrible by me.
The White Knights jumping. 5 seconds each, and suddenly he's dropped his rook. Suddenly Elham was back in the game, but only for a moment because the black pawns are too strong now. 4 seconds each. Who is going to win? Is it the rook or the bishop? A queen appears. Black needs to get rid of the white rook. That will save him, remove the danger. Quick pre-moves. Elham's removing everything, and it's a draw by stalemate. Ooh, Dubov taking this pawn, and now Magnus only has 1 good move. He doesn't find it. He didn't need to take that pawn back. He could have just ignored everything and won the knight. We see it repeat, and Magnus leans back. It is a 3-fold repetition and a draw.
Almost.
Ooh, it's a blunder. Hikaru can give a check, deflecting away the black knight, and then the black queen drops. The black queen falling would spell the end. Hikaru needs to find this move. Rook check. He doesn't find it. Hikaru Nakamura misses a free queen there.
There it is. It's another win for Hikaru Nakamura. But it was actually Magzudlu who won Title Tuesday last week. Players are getting ready. Dennis Lazovic will feature this week as well. He is a monster in online speed chess. We see Håvard Haug getting ready from the 28-82. And look at that, sitting down. It is the winner from Game Week 8. Magzudlu. And for him and so many players, it's crucial today to score those points on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard to catch up with Magnus and Hikaru, who will not be playing today. I still don't see Alireza Firouzja. Huge opportunity missed for him if he doesn't play today. All right, we have 11 rounds of intense chess ahead of us every week in Title Tuesday, and the time control, you guys know it. It's 5 + 0, no increment, super dramatic. And this is what they're fighting for, the CCT points, 10 points to the winner. Magnus Carlsen is on top of the CCT standings with 37 points. And here are the pairings for round 1. Magzodlu is up against Druin. Lasovic is there with the black pieces. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Who should we follow?
Oh, it's tough. I think we start with last week's winner.
Yeah.
Magzodlu. We start as we ended off last week. He ain't going to be drawing this game.
I love it.
As we see a queen's pawn opening, the white bishop coming out very, very early. So it's kind of a hybrid between the London system and the kind of torre attack here. Black's queen trying to attack a pawn, white's queen offering a trade. Magzodlu, he loves these offbeat openings. No mainline theory. He doesn't go for too many early piece trades. Tries to avoid endgames as long as possible. Early days here, but I'm expecting the white queen to retreat, get out of the way, or an attack on the black bishop. And this is just a very level-looking middle game.
He's playing August Druin from Le France. He's 19 years old, an international master, rated on FIDE at 2480, but online blitz chess 20, almost 2700 for the Frenchman. He loves to play Title Tuesdays. He's played the 7 game weeks so far. This is number 8 for Mr. Drouin. Would that be the correct French pronunciation?
I don't know. But I always think it's very fun that we get to see like these completely new players against the elite that we have grown to know over the last years of following chess. So it's very interesting to see like who can make an upset. Right now, though, it does not look good for our French international master. It says that Magzodlu is way better with the white pieces so far.
Already looking good for white, and that's because there's a bit of a pawn storm brewing. The white pawns are just marching up the board here. The black knight lacking squares. He stops that advance. There was one move, actually, that Magzodlu kind of maybe missed a bit earlier. Could have given black a big advantage, but suddenly, despite the connect 4 pawn chain, my favorite formation in chess, it does look like black's in a bit of trouble. Kind of firstly here, because the black king never really wants to castle to the right side. That would just walk into the fire there, and white would blow open that flank. I'm surprised the bar's changing its mind, though, suddenly. Slightly better for black now.
Ooh.
Very interesting, very tense position. All 32 pieces still on the board.
Yeah, and Magzodlu, he decided to, instead of castle in either direction, he just moved his king 1 step forward and is now like opening the board, it seems. So this could be very interesting very quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely the type of position that's going to explode sooner rather than later, but it's just about whose pieces are ready. As Maud says, something's going to happen here with these pawns. Either black's going to blink first and capture, or white's going to do the same maybe next move. What to do in the meantime? It's very hard to make these judgment calls, especially with no time on the clock. And black 1 minute down, that could be decisive a bit later.
It's so intense when you don't get any like extra seconds per move, and you know that if I spend this time, I'm never getting it back. So Magzodlu has he's been very aware of the fact that he needs to keep his pace up from the very beginning of the game.
Parham Magzodlu, the 25-year-old from Iran, number 36 in the world in FIDE overboard classical chess. He's incredible in online blitz, of course, and he won Title Tuesday Game Week 8, a win that meant a lot to him. He is also currently fighting hard to qualify for candidates next year. He's going to have to do it in the World Cup coming up in November. And that win last week with Magnus behind him, with Hikaru behind him, gave him a real confidence boost. And that must mean something at this level, David.
Definitely. He's kind of been a nearly man at the top of world chess for a few years now, Magzodlu. He's just destined to have a big breakthrough sooner or later, but yeah, he's had to bide his time, not quite qualifying for the candidates yet. Maybe he'll get an opportunity in future. He's doing very well in this position because white is the one who controls the flank that the kings sit on. White can break with some pawns. You can throw one forward to attack a knight. Maybe this one is the one he's actually setting up to drag open some files, some lines towards the black king. For black, it's a bit of a traffic jam, a bit of congestion between the pieces. Looks very nice and cozy, but hard to know what those pieces are actually doing. And our French friend here breaking out now, trying to open up a line towards the white king. very, very tense. The next few moves could decide this game.
What is it about in situations like that where you find yourself with your pieces just cramped up? Is it about being patient and just getting them out one at a time?
Yeah, usually you need a bit of breathing space. So here, I really like what Dran has done. He's traded off one set of knights. That means his other pieces have a bit more breathing space. And this black knight is a bit in the way, but if you could pick that up and place it anywhere else, there we go, he already starts retreating it. Then black's pieces feel a bit better. The problem is there is one weak pawn that black's pieces are tied down to defend, and one beautiful outpost for the knight to sit on in the near future. That's why here white has a small advantage, I was going to say, but much better according to the eval bar. What do you think, Maud?
I would be nervous if I was Magsudlu because the king seems so exposed, but at the same time, the black pieces can't really get to it. But I would just feel weird about having my king there and not really having any pawns very close to it. So it's an intense situation, but it seems like he's pretty chill and playing quite quickly. So he must feel that he has a good position here.
Yeah, Magsudlu, he's frozen on the camera, but he's not frozen on the board. He's playing super quickly. That time advantage, it feels like he's going to be using it very effectively a bit later. The white queen could try and improve herself over the next few moves. You can try and break through it later on with your rook. He triples up his major pieces. Rook, queen, rook here. Looks like he's getting ready for some breakthrough. Ooh, just as we say it, are there back rank tricks against the black king? Maybe some checks. Maybe you can deflect away the black knight from covering this square. You force the black knight away by taking a pawn, and then you establish a check. If the king gets checked into the corner, I know that's a lot of arrows. He goes for it first.
Wow.
He gives up his rook for knight. We'll see some trades here. And at the very end, the dust will settle. Magsudlu should have a winning advantage. Even if he just brings his queen back, trades off, the white bishop is going to win a pawn on the next move.
It's looking very good for Magsudlu. Massively better. This is round 1 in game week 9. Players have 5 minutes on the clock, no increment. And Drouin is struggling, not only on the board, he's struggling on the clock as well. And look at his camera. He's not loving what he's seeing on his screen right now.
Yeah, this is a painful position, unfortunately. Black's pieces, especially the queen, just misplaced. Hard to defend this position with a queen offside like that. He brings it back, but only in time to get traded off. White is a pawn up. It's not any old pawn either. It's a D pawn that is passed and will likely promote in the near future. Queen's traded off the board. Pawn trade as well. 2 pawn advantage. Magsudlu's surely going to win this game.
And it's always kind of fun to see in the first games because there's usually quite a big difference in level, but we still have seen so many times now, there's always one person at the top who kind of messes up in the first couple of rounds. But it's not going to be Magsudlu. He has won his game. He was threatening some checkmate plans, and he's got his first point.
It's there. 1 point for Param Magsudlu winning with the white pieces here in round 1. No huge upsets so far here in round 1. I see Maxim Vajilagrov winning, Nepo winning, Duda winning. And we're jumping into Lazovic's game with the black pieces. He's up against an IM. Oh, look at him. One of the older generations.
Wow, a really interesting position as well. Denis Lazovic is 1 pawn up. Black has 3 pawns, white has 2 pawns. It's a rook endgame. It's actually a dead drawn position. That's because black struggles to create a passed pawn. But the clock situation I do worry about for Florescu here. It does feel like this is the position black can play on forever and ever and ever. You can wait 40, 50 moves. There we go. And push a pawn, I was going to say. Maybe trade off a set of pawns here. Black wants to win this one now. The game's going to go on for a long, long time. But 39 seconds, that might be a mistake there. Black could go behind now. Give the white king a couple of checks. And this is the passed pawn. The white king's cut off on the wrong side, and this pawn might just run through. Denis Lazovic's going to possibly win this game. Oh, I think he has to push his pawn forward. I think he had to go forward there, but he drops his rook back instead. And again, it's winning for black. We'll see the eval bar slide a few times here. Tough to be accurate with no time on the clock. Florescu in trouble.
Yeah, so we have Codru Constantin Florescu from Romania here, an international master born in 1968. He's fiddling with his here. He's up against. Oh,
could he have pushed the pawn?
Yeah.
I was thinking, but it's impossible to think that way when you have 15 seconds on your clock.
And unfortunately, the winning king and pawn endgame for Lazovic. Florescu resigns. So close.
So close, but it is a win for Denis Lazovic. No upsets so far here in round 1. 1 point with the black pieces for our friend Denis Lazovic. So we do have a bunch of players already on 1 point. Of course, I don't spot any huge upsets here, you guys.
Håvard also won his first game. I was rooting for him.
Fantastic.
For Team Norway. Yeah,
exactly.
For them to get the points.
Exactly, because Norway needs to score the points. We do have the opportunity to check out the country standings so far after 1 round. Iran is on top. India is, of course, up here with all the talent in that country. It keeps changing all the time. We will focus on this as well. I don't see England here either, David.
Yeah, where's England? Makes me sad. Makes me want to cry. But nice to see the likes of Simon Williams play. And we mentioned no upsets or the alternating 1-0, 0-1. Normally, if they alternate, it means the top seeds are winning. But there was one in Deac, the Romanian Grandmaster, losing just in the middle of those, just there. Losing to the underdog.
All right. So 1 upset in round 1, you guys. Round 2 is coming up in only a few seconds. This is a huge opportunity for players like Magzudlo, like Sarana, to catch up with Magnus and Hikaru on the top of the split 1 standings and the Champions Chess Tour standings. Because Magnus and Hikaru are not able to play today, those 10 points today, extremely important. Round 2 is coming up. Here are the matchups. Magzudlo will have the black pieces in this one. Which one should we pick out, David?
Yeah, we could choose any game to follow here. Some very strong players, but we're going to start with Denis Lazovic, who we saw win that tricky endgame just a few moments ago. He starts with the white pieces this time. He plays not quite the Catalan. He trades off a couple of pawns. He's left his central pawns intact. And a very flexible opening here. It's a kind of hybrid between the Catalan opening, the Reti opening, with the white knight coming out on move 1, and the English opening. Is all of those kind of combined, but it's all characterized by the white bishop, fianchettoed, sitting in front of the king, ready just in case the position opens up on this diagonal. He's going to try and build a pawn center later on, and very positional fight ahead.
It's no easy matchup here for Denis Lazovic in round 2. He's up against Anthony Atanasov from Canada. He's an international master, 17 years old, and amazing in online blitz chess. Look at that. Over 2,800 on chess.com. And he's played every single Title Tuesday in the autumn split. Hasn't scored that many points, though. He must be hungry, Atanasov, and what a huge opportunity here against one of the greatest, Denis Lazovic.
And it's so fun that they get to play against like the best players in the world. That was what I was hoping when I was participating. And then when I lost the first round, I was like, well, I'll have to try again some other time. And also I'll have to get my rating to be way higher if I want to meet somebody this good in like the first couple of rounds. So yeah, but it's cool that when you participate many times, you'll suddenly get to play against the top 100s of the world.
I mean, what other sport can you do that every single week to be one of the top 10,000 players in the world and actually face number 1 in the world, Magnus Carlsen or Hikaru or Ali Reza, or, you know, it's incredible that chess has this.
Yeah, it's rare. You don't find Ronaldo and Messi kicking a ball around in the park.
Right.
You don't get to have a little training session with them. But I mean, I recommend it to young players all the time. That's why I've been disappointed England not higher up on the standings, because I do try and tell the youngsters there, play these tournaments. It's free practice. If you're concentrating on classical chess, this is still great training. You get to try out new openings. You get to build confidence, showing you can beat the best. It often takes a while, but the likes of Denis Lazovic, still super young, and over the board, didn't get his opportunities, but he's proven it online time and time again.
Exactly. Now, I love to play the lottery. I played way too much, spend way too much money on the lottery. And like the chances of winning that is like so low. But playing Title Tuesday, you basically have a 1 out of 400 chance of playing Magnus Carlsen in the first round.
Yeah. And also, like, if you do manage some amazing result against one of the best players in the world, people will see it. They will notice it. They will see it on this broadcast.
Yeah.
So I'm always like kind of happy when I see some underdog beat Hikaru or Magnus last week. I'm like, ooh, that's got to be the highlight of their chess career, to have played a game that was broadcasted and they win against one of these best players. So, but also the pressure. None of my games were like shown to people. At least I hope so. But I felt like the pressure. Like when you make a big mistake, you're like, oh my goodness, people can see this. That's not good.
But being Norwegian, have you ever played Magnus? Such a small Norwegian community, right?
Never an official game, but I have played him when he played blindfolded against 10 people.
Wow.
And I got a draw.
Oh, nice.
So that is actually still one of my best results, and it's on YouTube. They made like a 60 minutes documentary thing about Magnus, and then in one of the scenes he was playing against the 10 of us in my chess club, and I'm like 11 years old, I think. And then I got to be interviewed after, and they were like, "You are a chess genius." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of
amazing."
am." But I never did anything as good. And also, I think he offered me a draw because he was playing against so many other people at the same time that he was like, "Let me just get rid of this game." Actually, I think I was better, so that was a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a score to have against the best player in the world.
Led you
One
here today.
single draw.
Exactly. You never ever play him again.
Yeah.
Just make sure. All right. What are we seeing on this board? Denis Lazovic, the great player from Belarus. He is better on the bar.
Yeah, it's a small advantage, but it's a stable long-term advantage here for white. That's because black's pawn chain, this trio, can easily be undermined by a white pawn. I wouldn't be surprised to see that move in the next couple of turns. That would totally wreck that chain, break up that side of the board. The white bishop as well has great vision over onto this open diagonal. It could jump in at any moment, whereas the black bishop's somewhat blunted, staring down at a very strong fortified pawn. Black also has a couple of doubled pawns sitting in front of his king. So it's a few small things adding up. But there we go. As predicted, Denis Lazovic breaking through now. It's what we call the minority attack. One pawn undermining two there. And now black is left with some horrible weaknesses. Isolated pawns are never very happy in such a packed board like this. Denis Lazovic will just bring his knight back now, sit on the position, and try to tackle these pawns a bit later. Try to track them down and win them.
It's fantastic to see that you guys are following the broadcast, whether it is on Chess.com, Take, or other channels. Do join us in the commentary. If you do have questions for Maud or David, you can ask them there. I will pay attention. Or maybe just let us know who you are rooting for. Oh, what's happening on this board?
We've seen a beautiful sacrifice. This is a bishop that's just landed on a square. It can be captured, but taking this bishop would allow queen takes knight, a beautiful temporary sacrifice, followed by a knight fork. Black would then win back the material with interest. So that bishop was untouchable, couldn't take it, Denis Lazovic, but that means he's found himself a pawn down. Bit of a blunder there. Tactical awareness, though, from Atanasov. Very impressive.
Atanasov, and there he is, joining us, maybe playing from Canada. He is a Canadian player, and has a great opportunity right now to even beat Denis Lazovic.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more even on the clocks as well, because Lazovic has started to use more time now that he kind of realized, oh my goodness, what is going on. So yeah, he has a really good opportunity. Oh, he can take another pawn?
He can. He's trying to calculate the consequences. Rook takes pawn would allow the white queen to slide across, defending some squares, but also going on the attack. This is white's idea to get the queen and knight combo working. It's a bit scary. So Atanasov now just trying to calculate before he gets greedy.
But he can't spend this much time calculating.
Yeah.
He's never going to get the time back.
It's bullet territory. It might be ultra bullet territory soon. If Atanasov isn't careful, he drops his knight back. He's trying to simplify the position here. He wants a knight trade. He wants to even give up a pawn at the cost of, well, at least he's going to get pieces off the board there. Denis Lazovic says no. Repetition?
Oh.
Second time
it's always fun to threaten a repetition against a stronger player and then see them like mentally deal with it. What is he going to do? Is he going to go for the third time? No.
Oh, Denis Lazovic is the one who plays on. He has more time on the clock. I think that was the reason, as you mentioned. That's a check.
And I guess he has an ambition to win the tournament. And he doesn't want to give away half a point so early on. But it's risky.
It's very, very risky. A queen trade would lead to a very drawish rook endgame, so Denis Lazovic will try to avoid that. He needs to keep queens on the board if he wants to win this game. The black king is somewhat weak. You could imagine the white rook going up and behind with a nasty checkmate later. He blocks the queen trade, but there we go. The queens do come off the board. Denis Lazovic is lightning going to strike twice. We saw him win a rook endgame in the previous round. Ground it out. Is he going to do the same again? But it's 3 pawns versus 3 pawns. This should be an easy draw for black.
Yeah, but rook endgames are never easy against people at this level. I messed up so many of them and the previous time I played in this Title Tuesday tournament, and I was so embarrassed because I'm sure that somebody would have seen the game and been like, this should be an easy drawn endgame, and then I messed up so many of them.
Just blame the clock, Maud. That's what these players will do if they don't save this game.
Now I've learned.
But okay, the position repeating itself. So hard for white to create a pass pawn. Black's pass pawn, meanwhile, kept under lock and key. The white rook doing a great job behind this pawn. You should always put rooks behind pass pawns. Now this pawn's super strong, but the black rook is trapped in front of it. Very, very hard now for either side to make progress. That's a check, though. The black king will slide back. There is a pin. You cannot take this pawn twice. You cannot take it with the rook now, because the black rook would move out the way and a new queen would appear. This black pawn would promote. So we'll just see the position continue to repeat itself. Atanasov doing everything right. He's on the defensive. He's down 15 seconds. Can he hold on?
Denis Lazovic, 19 years old. They're both 19 years old, but Denis Lazovic is a big favorite in this game, but the bar is in the middle. Denis Lazovic, he's won Title Tuesday 12 times. He shouldn't lose in this round. Or is it most likely a draw?
Still, position-wise, it's a dead draw now. One pawn versus one pawn, rook endgame. But this is flagging territory, even if the pawns get traded. Rook's still on the board. Rook versus rook. You can play that on for 50 moves.
Yeah, and he's going to try to keep the pawns maybe as long as possible. Okay, but there they are. So now they only do have 50 moves.
Wow, we've got to start counting. The countdown has begun. The rook trade. Denis Lazovic is the one playing on. He's trying to avoid the rook trade. He's hoping that the opponent doesn't have time here or makes an awkward pre-move. 11, 12 seconds on the clock. The clock turning red for Atanasov.
Ooh. They've made 25 moves.
Ooh, he's going to make 25 more moves in under 10 seconds now.
Oh.
It's a race against time, but both clocks red now suddenly. This should be a draw. Atanasov has caught Denis Lazovic's king on the edge, and for one move he blundered his rook, but not found there, and it is a draw after all of that.
Wow, with 5 and 4 seconds left on the clocks, a draw between the two 19 years old. Little bit of an upset here for Denis Lazovic. Wow, good job by the Canadian 19-year-old Atanasov, scoring half a point against Denis Lazovic. Maksudlu, he has won in the second round on 2 points, same as Maxim Vachier-Lagrave Sarana. I didn't see any other upsets. This was a small one, a little bit of an upset for Denis Lazovic, ending up in bullet chess, and that's basically where you shine.
Well, I mean, when we were looking at the game that me and David played earlier, I mean, he did beat me by one second, but it's always very intense and it kind of gets left up to chance.
Yeah.
But I would say that he played well. I mean, he had to make 50 moves with just the rooks remaining and back and forth. It's no easy thing to do. And I'm very happy to see that Håvard, he has won both of his first 2 games and he's getting ready for his third against Andreikin, like one of the best in the field.
Fantastic. Here we see it, right? The youngsters, the underdogs, they do get paired with the best players in the world. Håvard, 15 years old, from Norway, playing from Magnus Carlsen's 2882 streaming room, up against Grandmaster Andreikin.
And there we go. Andreikin appears. This is a really tough challenge for Håvard. Andreikin, a former candidate. He's super strong, one of the famous 1990 generation. Håvard has used the Trompovsky attack against him. That meant an early trade. White bishop coming out, trading off for a black knight. He has doubled Andreikin's pawns, and black's last move looks weird, undeveloping the bishop, but that is because the bishop wants to plug the holes on that king side. The bishop wants to sit here to protect the king when it does castle. This has a reputation of being very pleasant for white. Symmetrical pawn structure almost, but can he create something here? That's the big question. He's playing a very positional opponent. Andreikin strategically phenomenal.
But I think that
matchup.
Håvard has been playing very quickly, which I thought was a good sign. That means that he has some confidence. He's not too scared. But both of them are playing incredibly quickly. I mean, they've made so many moves and not spent that much time. It's becoming a pretty weird position now, I would say, with this rook so far on the right side of the board.
And it's incredible to see, right? We have a FIDE master against a grandmaster, but look at those online blitz ratings. Way above 2,900 for Håvard. Andreikin, of course, 3,200 on chess.com. But Håvard has a chance here, and he's much better now on the bar.
He is, and he's found a great move there. He flicked in a bishop check. The black king in the center is a big feature in this position. The king cannot sit happily there too much longer. And what's happening here? The black knight had to retreat.
Oh, and he shakes his head. Andrekin, he's now like realizing, oh, I'm in a lot of trouble. And he's suddenly like leaning towards the screen, and he looks stressed.
Yeah, super stressed. I don't blame him. That's a free pawn that can be picked up now by white. I think he missed that the black queen wanted to block, but then the knight would have been potentially hanging. Also, a queen trade would have allowed a knight fork. So now, there we see, white's a pawn up. No reason not to take this pawn. One more move. Bring out the knight, and the rooks connect. He's going to be better. He can even trade off here. There we go. Go into an endgame and pawn advantage. Looking fantastic for him.
Wow, this would be huge for the 15-year-old from Norway if he's actually able to beat Andrekin, who's played all Title Tuesdays so far in the autumn split. He's scored 2 third places still, trying to get that first place. But now Håvard is much better.
Wow. Yeah, and he was threatening a fork, but the rooks are traded instead. Has Håvard beaten Andrekin already? Like in the beginning of the show, we saw like this collection of Grandmasters, the Grandmaster Slayer or whatever he was called. Or will this be a new member of his collection? We'll see.
Good question, yeah.
Yeah, a new scalp for his young career. This is a check. He's winning a pawn here, by the way. The white knight is coming in. He's going to take this pawn in front of the king. He can also take this pawn now if he wants to keep things super safe. Andrekin looks really flustered. The clock maybe is the one thing on Andrekin's side, but there we go. The white knight jumps in. Why not? This black rook is really, really misplaced. Cannot actually move anywhere decent on the 4th rank. And in the meantime, easy pickings. These 2 pawns are dropping. He's done everything right, and he's been playing with a smile on his face, Håvard, which is really nice to see. Look at him, he's so excited right now.
Fantastic, massively better. Håvard, the 15-year-old from Norway, he's been so focused. He's been in that room for several hours now, practicing and getting ready for Title Tuesday, and he is ready. Massively better.
In this 30-game tournament that you guys were playing, like how long did that last? Because I'm just imagining that you have to have like a lot of stamina to even be able to play just the Title Tuesday 11 rounds, but then 30 rounds.
Yeah, there were breaks as well for lunch. So overall, it was 9 hours.
Whoa.
It's like an ultra marathon of chess.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
I mean, he kept pace with me. He chased me until the very final round. Eventually, I managed to catch him in the rematch. Managed to get there, but yeah, it was not easy. He kept me on my toes.
Okay.
But I had to really be at my best. And I mean, he's playing at his best right now because he has a winning advantage. Look at Andrekin.
Yeah, is he kind of giving up right now?
Doesn't look happy. Doesn't look too enthused. There's a big weakness here that the black rook is now defending, but I wouldn't be surprised if Håvard just slowly improves his king, gets out of any checks. He repeats the position a couple of times. He's not going to take the draw. Then he's going to try and bring his knight forward, hit this weakness, maybe use the rook as well to go behind. And this is the target, this black pawn. But he still plays a few waiting moves. There's no rush. I've seen him play bullet so many times, and he's got all the tricks, the pre-moves, everything up his sleeve.
And he's got Grandmaster Andrekin struggling. He looks stressed out. This would be a huge upset. 15-year-old Håvard from Norway. He's grown up with Magnus Carlsen as his big inspiration as the world champion. And here he is in Magnus's chair doing Magnus things.
Yeah, this is a very Magnus-esque game so far.
Oh, really?
But Magnus would win this. That's the thing. Like, can Håvard do the same? That's the big question. He's done everything right. He keeps checking the black king, gaining a bit of time, or trying to burn his opponent's clock. And there we go. He pushes his pawn forward. He's trying to isolate black's pawns. We could see one trade, but black will be left with 2 isolated.
And he's always doing the checks. Like it's almost like he's so methodical in his way of playing right now.
That's the Russian school of chess he's using against Andrekin here. Always repeat twice, and then assert your dominance.
Yeah.
Play on. More checks.
How about the clocks? So Håvard has less than 2 minutes. Andrekin taken down to 2 minutes.
This is the 5th time he's doing this check stuff. But now Andrekin blocks with the bishop, so there won't be another check. But he's instead getting his knights into better positions.
Oh, those knights riding forward. Look at this. He's preparing the knight jump as well into this square, hitting the pinned black bishop. that's almost impossible to stop. You can't move the black knight because the white knight is coming in, and that actually leads to checkmate. The black rook, therefore, probably has to move. You can't touch your king, can't touch your bishop, can't touch your knight. Process of elimination here. Maybe he can move a pawn, but that is ugly too. Just feels like the white knight's coming in, maybe winning a piece in the near future. Winning now, according to the eval bar. At least I don't see any black on that bar anymore.
No.
Håvard, he's up on time as well. Everything turning in his favor. Upset on the cards.
Wow. All right, well, now it's about keeping his cool and getting this into the 1 point. Andreken is stressed, and he has little time on his clock, about to tick down to 1 minute left for the rest of the game.
Okay, he does push a pawn. The knight does come in. The black rook defends, but it's all about the other knight now. There we go. Easy pickings. This pawn is dropping next. You could even see a trade on this square. Everything coming off the board. Håvard's going to be 2 pawns up in a pure knight endgame. This is a totally winning advantage now. I'm going to say it's quite straightforward, the winning technique. Once he starts trading things off and simplifying, that's a check, but the white king just moves and doesn't change anything. He's blundered his rook, Andreken. The rook falls, the bishop falls. Game over.
Wow, we're about to see a huge upset. A 15-year-old about to beat Andreken.
Make it clean, just take there. They have 3 or
Yeah, and then Andreken just leaves immediately because that game was so, like, it must have been such a sad game to play when you're just like, you don't have any moves at the very end. But Håvard seems quite unbothered. He seems like he was expecting it for a while there.
I mean, this is superstar potential. He just beats one of the best players in the world. Look at him. Super calm.
Yeah, he was calm when he beat me too earlier this year. He's a hard one to read. He's clearly so focused on the chess and just takes it in his stride. That was a really clean game. Like, it's rare to see these 3,200 Grandmasters get crushed, but that was a crush. Very
Incredible. What an upset. 15-year-old Håvard Haug from Norway beats Andreken, and he's on 3 out of 3 points. We're jumping into this still round 3. Max Odlo, who won Title Tuesday Game Week 8, is also on 2 points, and he's up against Ahmad here in round 3.
Yeah, and Ahmad, I believe, has defeated Hikaru Nakamura in the past, so this was a tough pairing on paper. It's still a very weird position, but white has a queen versus a rook, so should be winning. The reason I say it's weird is because these black pawns do look quite strong. So this advantage is decisive for Magzulu, but he still needs to show accuracy to crown it to a victory. He's going to take some pawns on the path. The white queen swoops all the way back, and now these pawns are going to decide the game. That's great technique from Magzulu. The queen saves the day. The pawns do the job. And this should be over, I was going to say. But it's a bit of a race. Giving the wrong check. He should have given a rook check first. Now the white queen is going to save herself. The other pawn is promoting. And we're going to see a checkmate in the near future. That's a nasty one. King takes rook. At least black promotes with a check. But this one is going to end the game. And Magzulu wins.
With mate injury, Max Odlo takes it to go up to 3 out of 3. Max Odlo is on fire these days. He won Game Week 8, and now he is towards the top of the leaderboard. We had, he seems to be a favorite player for many, many people. Mod, are you a huge Max Odlo fan as well?
I think it's very fun to watch, like, when they're playing like these very short games. I think he has a very like entertaining way of playing where there's a lot of chaos. And also, like, he makes a lot of threats to pieces. Like, you can kind of understand what he's trying to do. And here we see Maxime Vachier-Lagrave has also won his 3rd game. I can see that there's more than 30. There's 36 players that have won all of their first games.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
Maybe today is the first time in the autumn split that we get to see that 11 out of 11. We're looking out for it every single game week, but we still haven't seen him in the autumn split. Only 7 times in history, I think, we've seen 11 out of 11 points in Title Tuesday. All right, look at that. Max Odlo, a point for him. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave takes a point, and of course, the big upset. Håvard beats Andreken to take a point, and he is on 3 out of 3. Sarana takes the point. Pranesh losing, actually, I just noticed. Well, round 4 is starting. You guys, Max Odlo will have the black pieces, so will Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Nepo against Korobov, that's a big matchup. Of course, I'm trying to look for Håvard Haug's name.
He's playing against Yasipenko.
Oh, that's a cool game. 2 youngsters, Andrei Yasipenko and Håvard Haug with the black pieces. Can he do it again? That would, of course, be another huge upset. Andrei Yasipenko, a big favorite in this game. And what's happening?
Yeah, it's symmetrical play so far. Both players putting their d-pawns out, fianchettoing their bishops, getting castled. This is what they call the solid system in the Fianchetto Grunfeld. Not the most sexy opening title, but very solid play from Håvard so far. And if he does win this game, we'll have to start calling him Mini Magnus.
Yeah.
Very impressive that last game. But for now, he's starting in much more solid fashion as Yesipenko looking a bit stylish there. And he's just trying to make this a bit more quiet, a bit more positional. I wouldn't be shocked if he just pushes his pawn forward now, keeps the tension, and we'll have a very slow maneuvering game.
What is the most sexy opening name?
The
Sicilian Dragon.
Oh.
That's like a good... Just name-wise.
The look on Maud's face when she said Sicilian Dragon. All right, well, much better already for Yesipenko. Bad start to the game for young Håvard.
And he's spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will mention that in that marathon when I played Håvard, when he crushed me in the Alien Gambit, we had a rematch later in the event, and I played this exact opening against him when I had white to get my revenge, just because it's very quiet, it's very positional. Against a younger player, it's kind of anti-young player chess. I don't know if Yesipenko has the same thought or whether he just plays this day in, day out, but...
Even he is yawning at his own play.
Exactly. That's how to play the young players.
And maybe Håvard is like remembering now the time he lost to you, David. He lost the marathon of chess, 30 games in total.
The trauma of losing.
He's been talking for a while, and I can't remember seeing him spend this much time in an opening before, so he's clearly very unhappy.
I just received a text message from our friend Tarjei Svensson, a journalist working for chess.com, and he's writing, it's worth mentioning that Håvard set the Norwegian record as nine-year-old when he beat Frode Urkedal, a Norwegian Grandmaster, and became the youngest to beat a Grandmaster in a rated game.
Wow.
Wow. Haven't you also had that record at some time, David?
Yeah, mine was in a blitz game when I was 8, so I don't know if... I mean, that title's been broken either way, the record, by a young player from Singapore who beat a Grandmaster at an even younger age of 8 a few months earlier. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted, that record.
Some of us have never beaten a Grandmaster, but
Yes.
It's motivating to know that a 9-year-old can do it.
In one of these Title Tuesdays, Maud, you'll get there. You'll get there.
My time will come.
You have to keep playing Maud.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
I did get to play quite a few Grandmasters when I was playing, or I think I played 2 or 3. So, and I don't usually get that opportunity, so that in itself was a reason to play.
And in the meantime, on this board, it's much better for white because he has won a pawn. It was the queen coming out earlier to this square, hitting a pawn in this direction, hitting a pawn in the center that bagged a bit of material there for Yesipenko. Håvard has some compensation in his light squared control, especially if white's light squared bishop is traded off. It would make the white king a little bit vulnerable. The black bishop has great potential if it can ever open up. So I'm not going to write him off yet, but it's a difficult position to come back from, and he'll have to fight very, very hard to find compensation for the material here. His plan is bishop takes bishop, followed by the black knight leaping into the center, and that would give him some chances. Yesipenko trying to figure out a way to stop that plan.
Yesipenko is, of course, also one of those players who really, really wants to score Champions Chess Tour points today in the absence of Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. He currently has 9 Champions Chess Tour points. A win in today's Title Tuesday will give him 10 points, and he will be on 19. Not at the top, but much, much closer to the top. And he is on 3 out of 3 points. And in a good situation here against Håvard in round 4.
And another long think for Håvard here. He does trade off. I'm expecting the black knight to sit in the center of the board. He trades off first. Very, very surprising. He uses a queen check. He wants to win this pawn, but he might have missed that Yesipenko's queen is also doing some capturing of her own here. She's going to go pawn hunting. White's still going to be a pawn up when the dust settles. It's just whether you want the queens on or off this board. I think he should keep the queens on. I think that's his best bet of staying alive in this game. There we go. He takes a pawn. Another pawn drops. And tactics time. Can black find compensation before the white queen gets even greedier on this side of the board?
Under Yesipenko, it looks easy for him. He looks a little tired today. He's super, super chill. And he's playing fast as well. Håvard is already under 2 minutes on the clock.
Big moment. He found the right move, Håvard. He brought his knight into the center. His Queen and knight doing some good work, and I was going to say he needed to push his pawn forward to hit the white bishop, which actually was lacking some squares. That would have given serious counterplay there. But instead of getting that counterplay, he's suffering again. The white queen's going to take this pawn, and white's a pawn is going to become very strong in the near future. It's 2 versus 1 on that flank. The knight is so strong here, controlling everything. Håvard's in big trouble.
Yeah, and you can tell by his body language and his expressions as well that he's very aware of it. So now he's like a complete contrast from the previous game where he was kind of smiling and like nodding along. Now he's not very happy with how this game is played out, I think.
Yeah, 2 pawns down. I'm very impressed by his poker face, though. He's clearly not happy, but he's not shaking his head, he's not cursing, and he knows he's losing here. I think a very classy move would be to just push this pawn up 1 square to stop the black queen. There we go, played, to stop the black queen giving any checks, and that kills the counterplay. There's no checks that can be given to the white king. He's still trying. He's hitting this pawn now, but it shouldn't be enough. This is swindle territory. You need something a bit magical to come back from the deficit here. 2 pawns down. If the queens come off, all the rooks come off, it's game over.
After that huge win in round 3 for Håvard, it's looking difficult in round 4 against Andrei Esipenko. A young talent, Håvard. Another young talent playing Title Tuesday today is Faustino Oro, actually. He's won 2 games, but also had a loss, and his game right now in round 4 is balanced. He is named the Messi of chess.
And there are so many like young chess talents that you kind of like lose track of all of them, and then they kind of appear. And especially in Title Tuesday, I feel like every other player is some like amazing talent that is very young. So it's fun that they get to play against the best in the world.
It really is.
Yeah, it's just fun. Like maybe someday we'll try and figure out the average age of players in Title Tuesday, but we have players of kind of 9-10 years old. We've had, what was it, a 70-something-year-old as well?
Yeah, Papu Murthy. I will never forget his name. Papu Murthy from the US, 76 years old.
Legend. And yeah, nice to see everyone trying to take part, everyone trying to get their go against the very top players in world chess. Håvard here, he's trying to desperately prevent this white pawn from promoting, but the pawns protect each other. The black queen, black rook are both tied down. This might be the killer blow. The white rook stepping behind now, helping a promotion. White's going to be a rook up when the dust settles. Håvard, yeah, I think resignation would be justified here, but he's playing on. Rook takes bishop. That will result in a queen trade next. White will have an extra knight, and Esipenko wins.
He goes up to 4 out of 4. Andrei Esipenko, a big favorite in this game. Håvard, he has a record of beating the big Grandmaster, but this one was a loss. But still on 3 points. He can still do very, very well in game week 9. He looks the exact same look as when he beat Andreikin in round 3. A chill guy. Still round 4. This is Parpiev against Sarana. Sarana, the Grandmaster, who is one of the players towards the top of the Champions Chess Tour standings and wants to score big points today.
Yeah, it looks like he was hiding a smile for a second, but he's definitely not smiling about this position. Alexei Sarana, he is currently a pawn down with black. It was worse a moment ago, but still a struggle for him. This white pawn actually keeps the black king caught in a cage. So many checkmating ideas against that black king on the back rank later. The white knight nicely protects that pawn, but Sarana has done some repair work on his position. He's trying to capture this one in the corner. And if he does, he'll get some counterplay. All the position repeating itself. We see a dance between rook and bishop. Sarana plays on.
He has more time. Yeah, maybe he's playing for the time, but it's also risky because there are a lot of white pieces in the middle of the board. And there is the danger of his king, but he keeps playing.
Wow, that's a really nasty pin, actually. White's just going to step his rook back and hit this bishop. The bishop cannot save itself because the white knight has got that square covered. He's winning a piece now. Parpiev and Sarana, he's got to win on time. It's a clear knight. This is a totally hopeless position in normal chess. It's all about the clock. Can he flag? He's got to stay alive for a while.
Wow. He's up against Isaac Parpiev, born in 2009, 16 years old, a candidate master, much, much lower in over-the-board chess than Sarana. But look at his Blitz online rating, over 3,000, incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be just down to the seconds. This always makes me very nervous.
Stalemate, stalemate. You can give up your rook. If it's taken now, the black king is trapped and it's not in check. He might save himself, Sarana. He does. Stalemate saves him.
Wow. Oh, eventually it is a draw. Did Sarana get very lucky there?
Yes. Very, very lucky. The eval bar still said white was winning, even with the rook sacrifice idea at the end, but no time on the clock. I think Papiev bailed out just the right moment.
Wow. Look at Sarana's face. He's almost like, oh, I'm sorry for doing that. Well, he gets the draw, Sarana. That takes him to 3.5 points. And we do have a couple players, though, on a perfect score so far, 4 out of 4. The biggest name may be up there. Maxim Vasilyev, Esipenko, Jan Christoph Duda is also on 4 out of 4. Max Udlo on 3.5 today.
Yeah, we also have the world rapid champion Mertzin on 4 out of 4, Nepo on 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, some big games ahead just after our next break.
Exactly. Round 4 is finished. A total of 11 rounds every single game week. Remember, now there is a little bit of a technical break, but we have fun stuff coming up. So stay tuned as we're following the Premier League of Chess.
Here we go.
What a fun game week. The upsets have already come in, and we do see the big names scoring points towards the top of the standings. Maxim Vasilyev. Would you be surprised if he won title Tuesday?
No, he's. I mean, he's such a legend already. He's won Blitz titles. He's won so many big tournaments. I think the only surprise is that he hasn't won more Tuesdays in the past, and that he hasn't been playing week in, week out. Nice to see him on form.
Definitely. Who is your favorite player, except Magnus Carlsen, maybe, being Norwegian?
Oh, that is actually a very difficult question. I saw that Anna Kremling was playing this one, so she's like the one I'm rooting for, and I'm like checking each round, how are you doing? So I guess she would be my favorite right now. She did win her first game, but then she, of course, faced some difficult opponents after that, and now she has 1.5 point, but in the first 4 rounds, I mean, that's a great start.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess she's my favorite right now.
Fantastic. It's so cool to see Anna Kremling playing, a streamer, but also a female player. We don't have too many female players featuring in Title Tuesdays. So fantastic that Anna is playing, that Maud sometimes is playing when she's not commentating.
The one time.
Yeah, the one time. But she will keep playing. Yeah. It's also fun to see, of course, the youngsters. We did see Faustino. He won in the previous round. Maybe he can get up there to face the big guns. Nepo is playing today. He won in the previous round. So much has happened so far, and we're now going to check out an action replay presented by Lovable. And it is the game between Håvard and Andrejkin, of course. A huge upset in this. And how did it actually happen, David?
Yeah, it was very impressive, Håvard's win. He won a pawn in the opening thanks to a bit of a slip from Andrejkin, but the technique here, he actually just gave up his pawns, allowing the black bishop to come and grab a pawn here in order to get active. It was the white rook that did most of the damage. It was the white knights that started jumping. And it was all about the 7th rank, the white rook just marauding, winning pawns left, right, and center. And Andrejkin just never got back into the game. White's king super safe, black's king, even in the endgame, vulnerable. And he always held enough time on the clock. He was always in control, super smooth.
Wow. Do you think this win meant a lot to Håvard?
I think it must have, but looking at his expression, it doesn't seem like he was that affected either. Like, he kind of just said that, you know, I should win this against whatever player I'm playing against. But I think if it was me, I would be like completely distracted. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on my next games. I would need a break. I would be like, I can't believe I beat one of the best Grandmasters in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seemed to just be like, okay, on to the next one. This isn't that shocking to him.
Yeah. And yeah, we talked about it, David. A FIDE master, but just incredible, especially in online blitz chess. Yeah. Is this a guy that you would, if you were his trainer, would you even recommend him to specialize in blitz and even online blitz chess?
Yeah, maybe blitz and rapid.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough blitz and rapid tournaments throughout the calendar these days to kind of sustain yourself, to make a decent living if you are successful. It is tough because kind of conventional wisdom tells you studying classical chess, slowly analyzing your games, going through openings, that kind of is the big growth kind of indicator when it comes to chess understanding, which also helps your kind of blitz chess. But whatever he's doing right.
Yeah.
And, I think the reason he hasn't been reacting is because he's beaten Hikaru before. Yeah. Once you've beaten Hikaru, everyone else is like, yeah, of course I'm going to beat them.
At only 15 years old, it's incredible. Here he is, Håvard Haug is getting ready for round 5, starting in a few minutes. Really, really good at chess, and you have to be really, really good at chess to beat those Grandmasters, to beat those top players. You no longer have to be really, really good at tech to create apps, you guys. You can just use Lovable, our presenting partner. What kind of app would you like to create, Mod?
I have created an app where, like,
because you are a tech, you know tech, so you could actually create that.
But I didn't make it with AI, which now I think it's not that impressive. But I made like an app where people can vote on a move to play against one person. So like, me and Lundedik were doing this event where he was playing blindfold chess against like 400 people, where they were voting on the moves. So I was like, I used to think that was impressive, but now with like AI stuff, I'm sure somebody could make the same thing. So that would have saved me some time.
Yeah. Well, especially now you can use Lovable using AI to make apps, whatever kind of app you would like to see on the market. Round 5 is starting. Let's take a look at the matchups. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave against Pranav. That's a big one. Murdzin against Theodoro, which we always see up there. Nepo, Chigalko. I don't know, David. Which game should we jump into?
Yeah, and I think the choices between MVL and Pranav, who are 2 fantastic players, and maybe Nepo and Zigalko, both of those clashes quite juicy to me. We do jump in with MVL. We'll try and get him focused on the camera. There we go. And, in the meantime, it is a Spanish opening. MVL's been playing this literally since he was about 7 or 8 years old. The first time I met him, he brings his bishop out time and time again, applying pressure on this black knight. He wants to win a pawn in the center. Some little nuances, little pawn pushes on the flank, just avoiding any bishop traps there. But the idea is essentially that if white takes in the center, black does the same, and things start to explode. Pranav, and they call him Buddy Pranav. He's a world junior champion. He's super speedy blitz expert.
Yeah, I've seen that he is almost, like in several of the rounds so far, he's been one of the first players to kind of end his game. So he's like been at the top of the standings because his game was done after like a minute or 2. So he's been very quick in expediting the 4 people that he's beaten already.
19-year-old from India. Is he one of those players close to Arigasi, Gukesh, Prag, all in that same age group?
Yeah, he's in a similar age group, and that must be frustrating for him. Imagine being the same age as the world champion. You must think, oh, it should be me too. But, I mean, he's been doing everything right, Pranav. He's a super strong Grandmaster, 2,600 plus in Classical. And he famously was on the same team as Magnus Carlsen that won the European Club Cup. He played for Offerspiel. So, yeah, he's phenomenally strong. He's super tricky. He is guilty of some positional... questionable moves. I don't know how to say that nicely. He sometimes makes odd decisions positionally, but there's always a tactical reason behind it. There's always a trick, like 5-6 moves down the line that his opponents don't see coming. And
so he's not scared to take chances, basically.
Yeah, big risk taker.
I love it.
Nice to see.
Yeah, we always love to see risk-taking chess. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, the Frenchman who's won Title Tuesday 11 times, and he is a former world blitz champion. He is on 4 out of 4. Both of these players now fighting to go up to that perfect 5 out of 5. But the bar is in the middle.
The bar's in the middle. Just as I was saying, Pranav's a risk taker, loves his aggressive chess. He swaps off the queens and gets a queenless middle game here. I'm not going to call it an endgame yet because there's still so much to resolve, especially with this little minor piece pattern. The bishops and knights, so much tension there. But when the dust settles, it should be level. MVL's very good at endgames, though. So if there are some trades, if he does have a small advantage, Pranav might be suffering long term. And the bar already starting to say slight advantage for white. That's due to the bishop pair. 2 bishops, and it's quite an open center here.
And I guess also Maxime is aware of what kind of positions Pranav likes to play. And he was like, let me just get to an endgame. That would be better for me. So He's playing smart, and he's playing a bit quicker. So he has 30 seconds more on the clock.
Yeah.
It's looking promising for him.
We have the pair of knights versus the pair of bishops. What would you prefer?
I'm a bishop man.
But in Blitz, it could be fun to have the knights because they're more like unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can make some threats. Now that they still have 3 minutes left, I guess it's too early. But in the very like final stages, 10 seconds left on the clock, I like having a knight because you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And there it's gone.
One of them still remains.
Yeah.
But I fully agree, especially the knight pre-moves.
Yeah.
So hard to predict, so tricky. They attack so many things that you don't expect them to. And next move, the black knight might step back and hit this bishop. MVL, though, I've never seen him behind on the clock, ever. In Blitz, Rapid, Classical, he's just always ahead on time, always so confident. I don't know how he does it, bit of magic there.
I remember from our commentating days in the Champions Chess Tour, David, with Maxim Vajelogrov on the camera with just seconds on his clock. He would be snacking on some nuts. He would be snacking on an apple. It looked like he was playing a game of classical chess when he would never get stressed out on the clock.
There's a huge difference now when they don't have those extra seconds. So now it's like, now I would be very surprised to see somebody eating in the final seconds of the game. The fact that they've changed the format to not have this extra seconds and kind of make it more relevant to the world of esports, I think that it's like as a spectator, that makes it so much more entertaining because anyone can win in the final seconds. And the players can't really slack off and be like, don't worry, 1 second is enough time for me. Now they actually get insanely stressed in those final moments.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a great change.
Yeah. And in the meantime, the changes on this board, and they have favored Pranav, despite the trade of his knight. It's a pure bishop endgame. If anyone's better, it's probably black if he can race his king into the middle of the board now, and that is because the white bishop is stuck defending some of its pawns on the same color complex. The bishop has to defend this pawn, the pawn on this square as well, on a light square, potential target for the black bishop. If the black king could teleport itself somewhere into the center, then black is just doing very, very well. But ultimately, it should be a draw. It feels like very respectful game here from MVL. Like he's saying to Pranav, I'm a bit scared of you. I want to trade off all the pieces. I don't want your tactics, but I also reduce my winning chances in the process. That's the eternal dilemma in chess. How much risk to take, and neither side here have taken much risk.
But MVL, he still has a lot of time on his clock, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Pranav is down to less than 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, and we have MVL joining us on the screen. We can even see the board in his glasses.
Let's get rid of the big board. Let's watch it in his glasses.
Oh, that's a talent.
Okay, oh, MVL really trying to lock this down with a draw now. He's completely closed the left half of the board. And he's saying, okay, I'm going to put everything on light squares. The white king and maybe one more pawn will block the dark squares here. It's going to be a dead draw any moment. I feel bad for choosing this game because it hasn't been full of fireworks.
But we're going to jump into another one. Still a bunch of games happening in round 5. And draws will, of course, happen. These players will then go up to 4.5 out of 5.
And here we go. It is a draw. Nothing to do. The players repeat. And we move on to another game. I think a decent result for both players.
A respectful battle between two fantastic players. This is still round 5. Murdzin against Theodoro. Is this a more action-packed board?
Yeah, well, the board I'm not even looking at because I'm just looking at the clock.
Oh!
2 minutes more for Murdzin. I mean, he doesn't even need to look at the board. He just needs to play quickly, and he'll win on time.
Yeah, he'll win on the board as well.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Pawn up now. I think the clock is the main factor. Just as you said that, Theodoro blundered a pawn. And it's because of the clock situation, because he's pretty much reduced to pre-moves. So white is a pawn up. White has perfect centralization with the queen, the knight, the rooks. Going pawn hunting on this side of the board as well. I'm very shocked here, Theodoro. Something must have gone wrong in the opening because he's super speedy. He recently defeated Gukesh at the Grand Swiss. He's very tactical himself here. But 30 seconds not enough. He's desperately trying to repeat the position, get the queens off. Murdzin living up to his reputation.
Yeah.
World Rapid Champion. Oh, there goes a knight as well. You don't become World Rapid Champion without swiftly spotting those free pieces. And this is going to end it. There we go. Murdzin, very calm.
He spent 3.5 minutes on his 16th move. I have no idea why.
Huh.
Weird.
Maybe Theodoro, I then suspect. Well, he loses this one against Volodar Mertsin, the world rapid champion who plays Title Tuesday for the first time now in the autumn split. Still round 5, Muradli against Esipenko, both on 4 out of 4, heading into round 5.
Well, and Esipenko, we saw him win a very convincing game earlier, but now he's in a bit of trouble. He's a pawn down. It's queen and knight versus queen and bishop. On paper, that should be balanced, but queen and knight tend to work quite well together. On the left side of the board, though, 2 pawns versus just 1. So any queen trade will help white. Bishop for knight trade probably helps white. That does mean that Muradli has a bit of leeway to play with. He's looking for those trades. His queen is dominating the center now as well. If he can somehow keep this pawn alive in the corner, then he will go on to get great winning chances in this game. The clock, though, I sense a time scramble imminent.
I wonder how much they practice these time scrambles, or do they just kind of every Tuesday they just show up and they just kind of because I feel like most players when they play online they'll play 3 minutes with 2 extra seconds, so you don't get that same training of learning how to end a game with only seconds on the clock and no extra time. But now they have to get good at this because that's what Title Tuesday and the Esports World Cup is going to require from all of these players.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Black's won the pawn back, but has lost a bit of coordination. The white knight threatening some jumps. It does actually have to retreat in the end. Esipenko attacks that knight, which is defended by the queen. It just feels like it's easier to play here with white. The bar now starting to agree. Everything on light squares, therefore cannot be attacked by the black bishop. Now he's pushing his pawns, but it's the clock. It's the clock, 15 seconds each. Who is going to keep their nerve better? Esipenko looks so locked in. Yeah. Muradli looks a bit nervous. He was looking at the clock for a second there. Some pre-moves, 11 seconds each. They're both going red. Something's about to happen.
Okay, we're taking bets. I'm going to bet on Muradli.
Just as you say that, Esipenko, he pre-moves, he gets his pawn through. The black pawn now is making a new queen. It's a time scramble, but surely the checks with the black queen are going to decide this game. Pre-move time, pre-move central, 2 seconds versus 3 seconds. And second a queen appears, totally winning for black, but does he have enough time left to win it? 1 second each. Who's going to take it? 0 on Muradli's clock. Look at those queens dancing, and Esipenko wins on time.
He takes it on the board, but on the clock with 1 second left on his clock. Andrei Esipenko takes down Mavan Muradli and goes up to 5 out of 5. I can't believe how chill they are looking. That was intense, winning on the board and on the clock. Big one for Esipenko, who goes up to 5 out of 5 to join Renato, Terry, Jan Nepomniachtchi up there on 5 out of 5, Minlay, and Volodar Mertsin also on 5 out of 5. Round 6 is starting. Esipenko against Nepo, Mertsin against Minlay. We're going to jump into a game in round 6, and it's Esipenko against Jan Nepomniachtchi, the 2 Russians.
Wow. And they don't get any breaks here because Esipenko just finished the craziest time scramble I've seen in a long time, and he looks so chill and unbothered, and now he's just having to start the next game, but he's keeping quite the tempo because he still kind of has this instinct of move quickly.
Exactly. It must be difficult to sort of shift tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still stressed thinking about that previous game. That final position is one of the weirdest final positions I've ever seen.
Why did he get a second queen? What was the point of that?
Yeah, black had 2 queens, white had a new one that just got promoted, and of course it came down to milliseconds at the end. But Esipenko, I do wonder whether that's a stress bracelet as well that he's holding in his hand just to keep himself calm. And he's such a chill guy in general. He actually defeated Nepo at the Esports World Cup, knocked him out in a match there. So some recent history and this kind of in this all-Russian clash. But in the meantime, looking very level on the board. It was an Italian game, but I'm looking at this this double stack of doubled pawns and thinking it's roughly level right now. I think despite the eval bar saying slightly better for white, Nepo should be relatively happy.
We do have some other cool matchups in round 6. Håvard, who won in game 5, coming back with a win after losing to Esipenko, is up against Andrew Tang. That's a cool matchup. And I also did notice that Anna Kramling won her game in round 5. So that's very cool. But this one, huge one between 2 big Russian names. And they're both on 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Clash of generations, and Nepo just in recent months has struggled a bit against younger players. We see Esipenko trying to push pawns now on the left flank here. He's trying to kick away this black knight. The only reason white might have a small advantage is because once that knight gets kicked away, there's chances to attack this central pawn. This is the weakest pawn of them all, only defended by the black queen. Once that knight gets kicked away, white also can break forward in the center. It's so complicated though. So many pawns in this middle of the board and so much to calculate. Nepo eventually taking his time, does push a pawn of his own, and we'll see maneuvering, I think, for the next 5-6 moves, and then the position might explode.
Yeah, Jan Nepomniachtchi, he missed the 4 first game weeks in the autumn split. He was playing in the Grand Swiss and missed those game weeks, but still, he's played fantastic when he's been able to join after game week 5, and he does have 7 points on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard, meaning today is a big, big day for him to score 10 points for Nepo today, and to catch up with Magnus and Hikaru on the top of the leaderboard would be massive for him. And he has a huge chance to do so.
But it's a tough field, and it's very difficult to perform through all of these weeks again and again and again, because just like a small mistake, I mean, now they have 5 out of 5, but now they're just going to play against really difficult players for the next rounds. So it's very difficult to never make like a small mistake. But there are 6 players that have won all of their first games. So we still have the possibility that somebody will win with 11 out of 11. Hasn't happened since we changed the time format, but it used to be something that would happen like maybe once every couple of months, and it would be like a big thing, like, oh, Magnus won all 11 games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the first person who's able to do that.
With 5+0, because it must be more difficult with a new time format.
Definitely, there's more variance. Like you can't always dominate games. You know you'll have to enter at least 2 or 3 time scrambles throughout the event, and to win those is scary enough. But to keep your nerve for 11 straight games against world-class opposition is it's not easy. And in the meantime, that perfect score might be difficult for Nepo to preserve here, because he's in a bit of trouble. This pawn is hard to defend. It's isolated, weak. It will drop with a check. In order to hold it, you might have to retreat the queen. You want to retreat it this way, but then another pawn might drop. The white queen looking super strong. He actually goes back in a different direction. That was the only move to keep, to kind of minimize the damage there, to keep the pawns on the board. But Esipenko has a beautiful pawn center now, controlling everything. He's got 40 seconds more than his opponent. It's looking very, very good for Esipenko, who I think will now switch his rook, switch his focus towards a backward pawn on this flank. Nepo, he's also got half an eye on the World Cup that starts next week, so this is a big moment for him. If he gets banks some points now, it's going to be huge come the end of the split.
Yeah. He needs to play in the World Cup and hope to become top. Is it top 3 that qualifies for the candidates? Yeah. To get a spot in the candidates and play another World Championship match. Try to take back the title.
Yeah, coming top 3 though in a field of, what is it, 128 Grandmasters?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So no guarantees.
He is a shared World Blitz champion, Jan Nepomniachtchi. He did share it with Magnus Carlsen last year in New York, but never become World Classical champion. He's played several matches, but never been able to win it. How about Andrei Esipenko? Does he have potential to become a future world champion?
Yeah, I think he's in a bit of a funny spot right now, Esipenko. A few years ago, Magnus was talking about him as future world championship material. He defeated Magnus twice in classical chess, which not many people have done throughout an entire career. He did it in a short space of time, and within a few months when he was still a teenager. But then he went into a bit of a lull. No big tournament victories to his name, kind of dropping some rating points. But now he's back around the 2,700 mark. Feels like he's much more consistent. It's tough, though, when you're playing against the likes of Gukash and other prodigies. There we go. White wins a pawn. The white queen going pawn hunting there. Might just step across and back into the center. Maybe could have actually gone back to try and trade queens. But yeah, Esipenko, it feels like he's due a big breakthrough in his career.
Yeah, and a big breakthrough in this game as well. Much better now, but he is down on the clock.
He's down on the clock. If he gets his knight in, he's just winning with white. Nepo has to cause some trouble over the next few moves. The rook staring across the second rank. Watch out for the black queen to come to this square later. Threaten checkmate. We see a rook trade. The black knight sits back on an outpost. And okay, at least he's stable. Nepo here. The black knight, we talked about how tricky knights are. This one is very, very strong in the center of the board. Somewhat compensates for the 1 pawn deficit. But Esipenko trying to get those queens off. So impressive. He's done nothing wrong so far in this game.
Wow.
So focused. Andrei Esipenko on 5 out of 5, now up against his fellow Russian Jan Nepomniachtchi, also on 5 out of 5. Oh, a blunder.
It's a blunder, and how to take advantage of that. I think, there we go. It is a sacrifice.
Wow.
Rook takes knight. He's cleared a square for his own knight. He's coming in with a checkmate. That is a very hard move to stop. You can't use your rook to defend the second rank because that square is covered by the black queen. And therefore, you have to use your own knight. But how to do that? If you move your knight forward, the black queen's still going to come in down to the second rank. The white queen's cut off from the action.
That was incredibly well spotted by Nepo as well, because, I mean, he doesn't see this bar that's suddenly like, whoa, there's something here. So you have to be awake at all times. And now he made that move really quickly, I would say.
Yeah, I would have spent like 2 minutes.
Yeah, same.
I would have spent all my time working it out. And even if it's winning, might not have played it.
Yeah.
But wow, Nepo, he's about to deliver a nasty checkmate, starting with this queen check or a capture of this pawn. The white king can't even start running away because of knight checks, and Esipenko resigning. That was so sudden.
Wow. I guess he wanted to kind of prove that, like, I can see what's going on here, but yeah, that was weird.
It's a win for Jan Nepomniachtchi. Wow, he takes the full point and goes up to 6 out of 6. This is also round 6. It's Andrew Tang, the American Grandmaster, against Håvard Haug, the 15-year-old from Norway, who's on 4 points. Both of these players are. What are we seeing on this board?
Wow, we're seeing a drawn rook endgame, not for the first time today, but it is also the type of rook endgame you can play on forever.
Yeah.
And here we go. Håvard's trying to get the pawns off the board as quickly as possible. That was a great decision. He's going to be down a pawn, but he has found a way to get his king in front. This is a dead draw now. Even if you put your king on the back rank and a rook on the back rank, G-pawns are notoriously bad. They never give any real winning chances. It's all about the clock. Will Håvard try and win with black? He's got 15 extra seconds.
Yeah, and Andrew Tang is like really good at playing with super short time controls, but he's the one who gave away his pawn almost on purpose.
Yeah, he wanted the draw.
He wanted the draw.
It's the draw.
Worried.
Yeah, it's a draw between Håvard Haug playing in the take offices against Andrew Tang, the Penguin, who will be streaming from the Dave Cave next week in Title Tuesday. He's visiting Oslo and is going to come to Take to stream Title Tuesday. But today it is Håvard Haug streaming a draw for him in round 6. Still round 6. This is Denis Lazovic against Vincent Keimer, 2 top names in chess. Is Vincent winning this game?
He is. He's actually a pawn down right now, but this check, there we go. The queen trade. Maybe with the trade of bishops first would have been even better for Vincent, but the clock is going to decide this one. 2 bishops, beautiful pass pawns for black. It's a matter of time. The knight actually gives itself up, but Denis Lazovic just has no time. He's desperately trying to pre-move, and Vincent gave up his bishop there, winning his opponent's bishop now. He pre-moved everything and ends up checkmating the white king.
Wow.
Checkmate on the board. Black wins. Vincent Keimer takes the full point. 3 seconds on the clock for Denis Lazovic. And a loss for him. He's stuck on 4.5 points. And we now see 2 players on 6 out of 6. It is Min Lei and it is Jan Nepomniachtchi. Renato Terry now on 5.5, together with Vogel, Keimer, and Pranav. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave is finishing up his round 5 game against Ruslov, and there it is. It's a draw. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave goes up to 5 points to join Andrei Esipenko. All right, what a round. And Jan Nepomniachtchi now up there with 6 out of 6. All right, cool stuff. Min Lei, of course, another player. Fantastic in Title Tuesday format.
Exactly. We were talking earlier about Håvard's future. How should he specialize? Min Lei has been specialized in blitz chess for years. He's now, just in the last few years, become a very strong grandmaster in classical chess, but he was playing online for 10, 15 years and hundreds of games a day. Very experienced.
Do you guys know if he usually plays from Vietnam? Because it's past midnight there right now. So I'm just like, sometimes I think about how the different players have like completely different time zones to be sitting in. And I'm always so impressed when like the East Asian players are doing so well and are leading the tournament like Min Lei is, because it could be very late for him if he's sitting at home.
Yeah, but don't a lot of chess players thrive past midnight is what I've heard rumors about.
Yeah, we're all born.
Maybe it's even
nocturnal.
worse to be in the US in the morning
Exactly.
hours. Yeah, okay.
I think
agree.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
All right, this is round 7 in Title Tuesday, game week 9. Jan Nepomniachtchi on a perfect score is up against another player on 6 out of 6, Min Lei. The winner of this game will take a leap towards winning game week 9. And will we see a winner or will it be a draw?
Yeah, big question over what's going to happen in this game. It's a very level-looking middle game here. It came from the Spanish opening, the Roy Lopez. It was the Schliemann variation for those of you opening aficionados. And once the dust is settled, black gave up a pawn, just temporarily, won it back. We see opposite-colored bishops. It's the dark squared bishop for white, light squared bishop for black. Pawn structure is a bit odd, maybe slightly in white's favor, as black has doubled pawns. White has a bit more shelter in front of his king, as opposed to black's king. But all things being equal, it should just be the type of middle game where the stronger player will outplay the other. Chances for both sides, enough imbalances that I think both players will be happy. And Min Lei, we see him looking very chill on the camera. He's a hair twiddler. That's his big tell. When he's nervous, his hair starts to get played with.
Really?
But, he looks very calm for now.
Maybe you can even use it as like a poker face kind of thing. Even if he's not nervous, he can start fiddling with his hair. He is apparently playing from Vietnam. I can see a lot of people saying that in the commentary, in the comments. And apparently it's 12 p.m. So it is midnight for Min Lei. Late for Jan Nepomniachtchi as well, if he is in fact playing from Russia. These two are on a perfect score so far today. Jan Nepomniachtchi playing super fast. Min Lei down to 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Do you know how much they care about it, David, to have like this perfect score? Do you think that they will be like avoiding a draw in this game, even though that could be like smart for the tournament situation, but then they're going to be like, no, I want an 11 out of 11. And today's a good day without Magnus, without Hikaru.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think for the likes of Magnus and Hikaru, it's like a badge of honor. They will try as hard as they can to get 11 out of 11. I think these two, if they're still on 100% after round 8, round 9, then it's definitely on their mind.
Okay.
But for now, they just want to win the tournament, just want to take down their rivals, just want to kind of position themselves, jockey for that first spot.
Yeah. What is the most amount of points that you've been able to get?
I got 10 out of 11 once when I won in 2022, but Magnus wasn't playing, Hikaru wasn't playing.
Yeah, but you don't need to add that.
Nepo wasn't
playing.
playing.
You don't need to let us know.
MBL, Farouja, they weren't playing. That was before they upped the prize money and it started becoming more attractive. But I think my average score is maybe, I don't know, around 8.
Oh, that's good.
7.5, 8.
Yeah, impressive. Really impressive. Jan Nepomniachtchi. Now, in the move with the white pieces, what is this game about now?
Yeah, it's about who can attack first. Opposite color bishops have this really drawish reputation, maybe unfairly so, especially in endgames. But when the queens are still on the board, rook's on the board, it's about attacking the opponent's king. And I quite like what's happened for Min Lei here. He's opened up a beautiful diagonal for his bishop. You've got to be careful. You might want to move your queen out the way first. I sense some tension here. Rook versus queen, you always want to get the queen out of the way. But the black bishop, I was going to say, should land on the other diagonal. He actually tries to pin the white knight, also attractive. And it feels like white has some light squared weaknesses to deal with.
But look at Min Lei, David. Fiddling with hair.
It was a matter of time. It was always going to happen. And yeah, that's a tell that he's kind of getting a bit excited, / a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Like he knows something's about to happen, critical moment in the game. White better now, apparently. And that's probably because you give a check with the white queen, and you start to kick the black knight out of your camp.
All right, Min Lei from Vietnam, 29 years old, a grandmaster. He has 3 points in Champions Chess Tour, fighting to score a bunch of points today. Called Wonderful Time is his nickname on chess.com. I love that. He's won Title Tuesday 13 times, and he loves playing Title Tuesdays. He's played every single game week in the autumn split. Still not won it though. But he has a huge chance today.
He's always been up there, I feel like. He's always on these top boards at this moment in the tournament. But then maybe he's been struggling a bit against like the very top people. Which is what's difficult when you do have 6 out of 6 points, is that you really can't avoid like the best players anymore.
Exactly. Well, the bar is swinging back and forth in this game.
Yeah, big missed opportunity for Min Lei. If I remember correctly, by the way, he won the final Title Tuesday before we reimagined things. But big opportunity for him. He should have planted his bishop in the center, and he would have been staring down at this pawn. The black queen, black bishop would have been teaming up against the big weakness in front of the white king. It's all about the light squares there, and he should have been pushing his pawn 2 squares. He only pushed it 1 square forward. Very meek move there. A bit braver with that pawn would have given him an advantage, and now still slightly better. He's going to move his queen forward. It's all about whether Nepo's queen is offside at this moment in time. The idea is actually to drive the black queen away from the defense of her rook. Rook is attacked twice, so maybe the queen will drop back in this direction, but wow, rook takes rook as a queen sacrifice by Min Lei, and a blunder from Nepo, who took the queen. Where is the win? Is there a checkmate in this position? Min Lei, wow, look at those rooks coming in. He's about to take this pawn. The king is doomed. It's just checkmate. He's given up a queen. He's even giving up this rook. He's going to take this pawn, and no matter where the white king goes, the black knight delivers the killer blow.
And he's sitting as if he's playing a classical chess game and like leaning towards the board, putting his thinking cap on.
And that was incredible. He threw his rook forwards on the board, and then he threw himself forwards towards the camera. And Nepo is now spending a lot of time. He's probably noticing he's blundered.
Wow, and it's not the type of blunder you can come back from. It's the type of blunder that just ends the game. This rook and bishop combo just so strong now, supported by the knight. By the way, white can take the rook in 2 different directions. This rook can drop with the bishop, with the white rook. The queen can even swoop and take the knight. Everything, though, ends in black's favor after rook takes pawn. The white king will just be forced into the corner with some horrible discovered checks to follow. Nepo might just resign. This is one of the tactics I've seen so far of the autumn split.
Wow.
Just incredible from Min Lei.
Oh, but he does try to, he sacrifices his queen back, actually. But when we count the pieces now, we can see that Min Lei has a rook in exchange for a knight, which should win him this endgame anyways. But he avoided the checkmate, Nepo, and he didn't give up, which was also maybe a bit surprising.
Yeah, impressive to keep fighting. But yeah, slightly surprising because he has so much material down. Bishop takes pawn. The bishop's coming in and behind to take this pawn, maybe take this pawn later. And Nepo clinging on to the position. But yeah, that tactic from Min Lei, I write a newspaper column where I have to find a puzzle every week. That's going in the newspaper.
Oh, love it.
That was a crazy move. Rook to f2. Oof.
And I'm always so impressed when they actually find these things, because sometimes it's like, it's easy to see when we have like a computer that will tell us, okay, he has like a moment now where he's massively better, but to like actually be on the lookout for these kinds of things in the game is so impressive. And also it's always scary to do that because you're worried that, do you even have time to calculate every single possibility, or do you just trust your intuition? So that was very impressive.
We're seeing a different phase of the game now. It's the conversion phase, where essentially it's the 3 black pawns versus the 1 white pawn. And yeah, those pawns won't be able to hold the storm forever. Eventually, one of the pawns will break through. There we go. The white bishop will most likely be forced to give up its life for one of the black pawns, the rook coming to hit it first. And yeah, you don't stop these 2 in a hurry. This is going to be game over. 30 seconds easily enough for black here.
I was going to ask. No hope for Nepo even on the clock?
No, maybe if it was 10 seconds, then you can race. You can try and distract the opponent. But a new queen is born, and there we go. Nepo resigns. Impressive win from Min Lei.
Wow. He goes up to 7 out of 7 after a brilliant move, finding a brilliant tactic. Min Lei takes the sole lead in game week 9. But this is still round 7. Vogel from Germany is up against Branov. And something's happening on this board.
Something's happening. He's just dropped his rook. He was actually winning when we jumped in, Pranav. He was 2 pawns up for not much compensation. Now the queens are disappearing. There's some chances of saving this game. White could have done this in a better formation, in a better sequence. And suddenly it's knight and pawns versus rook. Wow, Pranav was winning, then he was losing. Now it's the level endgame. The black king's coming. All bets are off. It's all about the clock. Clearly, both players are nervous right now.
Oh, okay. Massively better for Konstantin Vogel from Germany. But these clocks are going to become red any second now.
And it's going to turn red for Pranav first. I do fear that it's easier to play with a rook than a knight. Although knight forks were in the air. The rook's so versatile, it's going to be taking pawns. The knight's going to be so tricky jumping. 8 seconds for Pranav. The rook's going up, winning some pawns. If he takes all of the black pawns, he cannot lose Vogel. But is he going to play for a win? Will he repeat the position? And there we go. He bails out. He could have gone for the win, though. He had extra time on the clock.
But 2 players with red clocks, they take a draw.
But it's not. Sometimes it's like, do you even have time to look at your clock and your opponent's clock, or do you just have to make a decision? I totally understand the people who are just like, I'll just go back and forth. That's the only way I know that the game will end without me losing all of my points, kind of. So yeah, but it's a difficult situation to be in.
Making good decisions fast. That's I remember Magnus Carlsen was once asked, what is the biggest thing you've taken from chess into real life? And he said, the ability to make good decisions really fast. And I guess that's one of the things Magnus is really good at. This is round 8. It's starting right away, you guys. Minley on a perfect 7 out of 7 is up against Renato Terry. He's an international master, but he is fantastic when it comes to Title Tuesdays. Way over 3,000 in online blitz chess.
Yeah, and I hear a collective groan from the audience because it's the London system. But Renato Terry doing some strange stuff. He actually trades off the London bishop. The white bishop came up and steps back. That was quickly traded off by the black bishop. And very composed play, very solid play from Renato Terry. He's going to put his queen out. He's going to block the dark squares. There we go. And we see a very slow middle game in store for us here. The London system is one of Minlei's favorite weapons.
Renato Terry from Peru. He is an international master at 33 years old. Only, and I say that, not lightly, but he's 2,500 on FIDE standard rating, but you guys on chess.com, his blitz rating, 3,163. He is one of the players who just specializes in this format, and he has 7 points in the Champions Chess Tour, meaning a win for him today in Title Tuesday would take him really much towards the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and he's been doing well so many tournaments in a row. I feel like we can't go a Title Tuesday without having some matchup between Terry and the person who's leading the entire thing, be it Magnus or in this case Minle. So yeah, he's really doing very well. But I'm always wondering, like, okay, if you're an international master, you're clearly good enough. Your instincts are amazing because you're so good at these kind of quick time controls. What is stopping him from becoming a grandmaster? Do you know, David? Like, what would be your advice?
Well, I think he just needs to play more. And I don't think he takes the opportunity to play so many classical tournaments. I remember seeing him play at an Olympiad once, and I was curious. I was like, how is this IM hanging with the GMs? He was playing on one of the top boards for Peru. And I did a bit of research, and he just barely played. I think maybe maybe travel's expensive. Maybe there's not so much support from his federation. I'll call him the most dangerous IM in the world. Because he's so strong, so quick. I think also over the board, I have seen him get a bit nervous. He played a blitz tournament. It was Armageddon chess in Germany, and his hands were shaking. He was so anxious against the top players. He was playing Abdu Satarov. He was playing Eric Gaisi. He was playing these top guys. At least sitting from home, maybe you can be a bit more relaxed. And he's specialized, and he's getting great results. Nice to see. Yeah,
we've also been discussing sometimes with our viewers, like, that some people see the boards kind of differently. Like if you're playing on a screen versus if you're playing like over the board, that's like different visual memories that you have. So if you've played a lot of online chess, like that's how you see a chessboard and that's how you see possibilities. So I don't know, maybe he's like one of those people who kind of belongs to like the digital chessboard memory kind of people.
I mean, in every other sport, there is a big difference between the over-the-board version, take soccer or football, for example, and the esports variant where you play FIFA, for example. Like, being good at one will definitely not necessarily make you good at the other. Chess, it's more similar, but maybe it's less similar than we historically been thinking.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we've just, especially in the last 5 years, discovered so much about online chess, right? Like, it wasn't taken as seriously. Now all the top players are playing, but still the specialists who can give them a tough game. And Renato Terry is one of them. We saw a piece trade there. Bishop for knight. That's the first real imbalance. Very locked position here. You can tell that both players are nervous because they're reluctant to commit their pawn structure. There we go, totally blocked on the queen side now. They're reluctant to take any big risks. It feels like they're both waiting for the clocks to tick down to 1, and then something's going to happen.
Min Lei, he has 7 points. Perfect score here in game week 9. And this is round 8. A total of 11 rounds every single Tuesday. 5 minutes on the clock. No increment. Min Lei on a perfect score so far today. Will he keep it up? He is about to tick under 3 minutes on the clock.
I will say that he's the favorite in this game, partly because of the clock, up 15 seconds, but partly because of the position. White has the pawn center, and White holds the key to breaking it. Black never really wants to trade off in the center unless he gets something concrete in return, because it just gets replaced by another strong pawn. White keeps control. White is the one who decides when to open things up. And it's so nice having that option. The opponent always has to decide, are you going to trade? Are you going to lock it? What are you going to do? And Min Lei has all the time in the world to make that choice.
Jan Nepomniachtchi, who lost to Min Lei in round 7. I don't know, maybe he is on a little bit of a tilt already in a losing position in round 8 against Bortnik.
Wow.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. But that's what I also think is very difficult about playing Title Tuesday from like my own experience, was that when I lose like 2 or 3 games in a row, then you're just like, oh my goodness, this is just terrible. And then you just play even worse. And then you're like, should I just leave the tournament? But then you're like, no, then I had told our TV2 viewers that I was going to play. And I'm like, I don't want them to be like, Maud, quit the tournament, because I was sometimes criticizing people who were quitting and kind of ruining the tie breaks for other people. So I was like, oh, now I have to lose like 5 more games. So it's crazy to me how good these players are at like just forgetting everything that's happened so far in the tournament and just being like, okay, I just lost the game, and then they win the next one against some other super top-rated Grandmaster. I think that's like such an important ability to have, but very difficult to be good at.
I can imagine. One of the most difficult things in chess, probably, right, David?
Yeah. The bouncing back, staying mentally strong, staying focused, determined, and living in the moment.
Yeah, Nepomniachtchi has lost now. He's lost the game.
Wow. All right.
That's
2
2 in a row.
losses in a row for Jan Nepomniachtchi, who was fighting to win game week 9. Is he out of it now? Especially if Min Lei wins another one and goes up to 8 out of 8. He's getting close to game week 9 win. But this game,
Yeah.
do you see big winning chances?
It's tough. That is the first time now that Black is slightly better according to the eval bar. Min Lei burnt all of his time advantage on making a decision. It was just hard to know where the breakthrough was. Like, White's pieces were perfect. How do you improve what looks like a perfect position when the opponent is so solid? Now it might be the moment, there we go, for Black to break the center. And the reason he's doing that now is because White is stuck. This pawn especially is backward, it's weak. If there is a queen trade, which looks likely, the Black Knight is going to come and sit on a beautiful outpost in front of those white pawns, staring at some other white pawns, and it's going to control much of the board. It still looks like a draw is the most likely result, but Min Lei doesn't feel like the trend is his friend right now. It's not on his side. Things are turning. Renato Terry had a chance to be better there. Maybe it's bring the rook up this time and to shift it across to attack those pawns. Renato Terry, he's been doing everything right, and it's his type of position. I've played him so many times online. He stays solid, 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 and then he'll pounce when you're down to 30 seconds. Min Lei shaking his head. He's overthinking. It's not looking great for him anymore.
Oh.
Look at the clock. He's just been too slow, right?
And I feel like also Terry has just been like making these kind of discreet moves, like just moving his pawn, kind of waiting for Min Lei to just spend his time and kind of panic. And now that's already starting to pay off.
Yeah.
Oh, but the queen's come off.
Yeah, that was just in time for Min Lei, by the way, before the black queen moved away, and the black rook was actually coming to trap the white queen. That's why we saw the bar swing a bit, but now it does look like a slightly more pleasant endgame for black, and Min Lei shaking his head. What was that about? Maybe he's just annoyed about the last few moves. He's giving up a pawn. He's trying to get his rook in after the next trade. First he pushes a pawn forward. He's got the advantage on the left flank, but it is level pawns there. On the other side, it is 4 versus 3 for black. Renato Terry wants to teleport his king over, but he might be too slow. This is still anyone's game, both under the minute mark. Who's going to take it? Maud predictions.
Oh, I think he's going to crumble, Min Lei now. I think he's... I think this is the end of his undefeated era in this tournament.
Ooh, big call. I'll call draw.
Okay.
Just because I feel they're equally nervous. And here we go. We see some pawn trades. The black rook's trying to come in. Needs a couple more moves. Need to give a check and come behind to start grabbing some pawns. And Min Lei is banking everything on this c6 pawn now. It's so close. 2 squares to promotion.
Oh.
He's going to try and win the pawn in
Terry's
front of
spending
it.
so much time.
You've got to move.
That's way too much time.
Just got to give checks. Just go behind,
Okay,
start
if he
taking
gets
pawns.
Oh.
Oh, I think we're as nervous as the players here in the
Yeah,
studio.
now we are. Now that we've made our bets, I'm equally nervous. But look at Min Lei, like his body language is showing that he is incredibly stressed in this situation.
Yeah, he's looking negative here. He's spending too long. He's just burnt 15 seconds on one move.
Oh my goodness.
His pawn drops. He goes behind. Okay, he takes another pawn, but those pawns are going to be liquidated on the left flank. It's going to be 2 versus 2 with a 7-second time advantage for Renato Terry. It's a dead drawn rook endgame now, but the clock is going to decide this. The white clock's going to go red. Got to catch your opponent in a pre-move. Ooh, breaks the pawn structure of Renato Terry. That means it's likely to be a draw now. Ooh, trade the pawns, and it's a dead draw, king versus king, to end this one.
Wow, it's a draw. We're not going to see 11 out of 11 in game week 9. Min Lei goes up to 7.5 points with a red clock. Renato Terry, a draw and 7 points for him. It feels like the fair result in this game.
It felt fair, but it could have been so different. Min Lei had the advantage earlier, then tanked, kind of froze, got a bit nervous. Terry could definitely have flagged him at the end there if he was a bit more ruthless, but yeah, a draw and no more 100%.
Nope. But Min Lei is still on top of the standings with those 7.5 points. A bunch of players on 7 points. A few players on 6.5. And with 8, 9, 10, 11, I had to count. 4 rounds to go. Who can still win it?
Oof.
All of them, I would say. All of these top 10 or top even 13 players are kind of in contention. And it's going to be very exciting to see. It kind of depends on who gets paired with who in these next couple of rounds.
Exactly.
But Bortnik has climbed like very far up, considering that he lost very early on in the tournament. So that's been quite the comeback.
Alexander Bortnik, who came second when he played from the Take offices a few weeks ago when Magnus Carlsen won it. I also want to check out the country standings.
Yeah.
We have Iran on top. Maghsoodloo is scoring points for them. India, second place. And Norway is top 10.
Wow. I've been seeing that there's a lot of Norwegian players playing today, but all of them have about like 4 or 5 points. So it's like not in the top 20, 30, even 50. But there's so many of them that I'm wondering if that can kind of contribute to the success. And then Håvard, of course, I think he is still doing quite well. He has 5 points. And he was, before this round, he was in about like 30th place. So he's doing good.
He is doing good. He's scoring points for Norway. Title Tuesday no longer only about 1, winning every single Tuesday glory, 2, qualifying for the Esports World Cup by scoring points every single Tuesday. It's also about scoring points and glory for your country. And that means something, right, David? Like, Chess Olympiad is one of my favorite tournaments because I see almost a little bit of a different look on players when they fight for their country. It really means something.
Yeah, and just like there are specialists in Blitz, there are specialists in team tournaments who suddenly they put on their national team jersey, they become Superman. And it's just like they're so focused, determined, they're great team players. They'll take a draw if it helps the team, or they'll take risks to try and win if it helps the team. And yeah, it's nice to see. Hopefully it inspires a lot more players to play. And the fans, go nag your favorite titled players in your country. Get them to play, get them to represent. More to you played Olympiads yourself. It's inspiring, right?
Yeah, and now when I do play team chess here in Oslo, I'm always like, I show up and I very often lose because I have to play the first board. But then my teammates are like telling me, no, it's great that you played because then we get to play against an easier opponent. So even then I'm like a little bit comforted by that, but I'm like, ugh. I always kind of, team chess is very brutal because especially like if you do poorly and it ruins something for the rest of the team. But here I would say there's less stakes. I mean, here it's just do as well as you can and then help your country. So it's only positive here.
Exactly. And A lot of players contributing to their teams. Min Lei, though, on top of the standings. Sole lead after 8 rounds, 7.5 points. A great chance for him to score 10 Champions Chess Tour points to win Game Week 9. But a bunch of players will be chasing him when round 9 resumes in a few minutes. Before that happens, let's take a look at one of our favorite moments from the past few rounds. Let's take a look at an action replay. There's been a lot of time trouble in the last few rounds. And then, of course, this big battle. They were both on 6 points, Jan Nepomniachtchi and Min Lei, heading into round 7. And what happened in this game?
Yeah, Min Lei sacrificed his queen and suddenly the bar turned black. Nepo should not have taken that black queen. He should have just taken back the black rook, and look at that. That black rook, the second one entering the position, taking a pawn next, ending in a checkmate sequence. That was just beautiful. That was a stroke of genius from Min Lei, who head in hands was actually the happier of the two players. And Nepo was able to avoid the checkmate by giving back the white queen, but found himself in a dead, lost, hopeless endgame. Genius play by Min Lei.
I think you called that rook move one of the most beautiful tactics you've seen so far in the autumn split. Is it because it's not a very human move? It's super difficult to spot. Why is it so beautiful?
Yeah, I only saw it after he'd given up the queen, but first you have to understand you can sacrifice the queen, which is kind of mind-boggling, and he played it in 15 seconds, that whole sequence. Very impressive. So it's calculation married to checkmate patterns and just general beauty.
General beauty from Min Lei. He's playing fantastic chess today, and he is on 7.5 points. We're getting ready for round 9, and only a few seconds until we see the pairings coming up. All right.
He was very disappointed with this draw, it seemed like. His instant reaction to the draw was like, oh. So I'm wondering now if that will in any way affect him in the next final rounds, now that he's kind of ruined his perfect streak. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he can clench the top spot.
Look at him, he's so excited right now.
Fantastic, massively better. Håvard, the 15-year-old from Norway.
Oh, stalemate, you can give up your rook. If it's taken now, the black king is trapped and it's not in check. He might save himself, Sarana, he does. Stalemate saves him. Just as you say that, Esipenko, he pre-moves, he gets his pawn through. The black pawn now is making a new queen. It's a time scramble, but surely the checks with the black queen are going to decide this game. Pre-move time, pre-move central, 2 seconds versus 3 seconds. And second a queen appears, totally winning for black, but does he have enough time left to win it? 1 second each, who's going to take it? 0 on Bradley's clock. Look at those queens dancing, and Esipenko wins on time.
Get ready for more time trouble, more red clocks, more brilliant tactics, more blunders, more action. We're heading into round 9. It's going to be Muradli against the leader, Min Lei, Terry, Ashraf, Bortnik, Atakan, I think. But we're following this one. Min Lei is in the sole lead, and here he is up against Muradli.
Yeah, early days on this board. We're seeing a bit of a hybrid opening here as well. It started life as a Reti opening, the white knight coming out very, very early, but now there we see the white pawn occupying the center, transposes it into a Slav defense. That is because white's putting some pressure on the center with the queen's gambit type of idea here, and black is just setting up all the pawns rock solid on the light squares. White will get the bishop pair. He's going to attack this bishop and eventually take this bishop with a knight, but black's pawn structure super flexible. And that's Min Lei's style. As we've seen already today, he waits and waits and waits and tries to take his chance later in the game.
Calm, cool. Min Lei is in sole lead, and here up against the Grandmaster from Azerbaijan, 22 years old, with a FIDE rating of 25.84. He has 1 Champions Chess Tour point. Muradli calling himself chess lover on chess.com, rated way above 3,000. And he's played 3 Title Tuesdays so far in the autumn split. 8.5 points is his best score so far. That was in game week 8. Can he beat it today?
I wonder if these players sometime regret their usernames. Like they made them probably way before they knew that like I'm gonna be on the very top boards of Title Tuesday. David, what's yours? Do you have a good name?
It's Howitzer 14. 14's my lucky number, and Howitzer was a friend's nickname for me when I was a teenager.
Really? That's a good one.
I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I probably wouldn't have chosen it now, as you say, Maud.
Yeah. Chess lover. I don't think you would pick that. If you were to make like a user today and be like, I'm going to be on the top 10 in Title Tuesdays regularly, I think you would pick something else.
And let's remind everyone about your name on Chess.com. So it's Maud sjakker deg, Norwegian for Maud checks you.
Yeah, I don't know. I regret that name.
I feel it suits your personality. You're fierce,
On the
confidence.
Internet Chess Club, ICC, my name was Emrod because, you know, like the baseball player, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. So I was Emrod. I think that's so much cooler. And I'm like, why did I not use that on chess.com? That's a name I could get behind. But now it's too late. Now I've already connected my title to chess.com to that user so that I can play in these tournaments. And
Exactly.
it's too late.
I like it.
What about Minle? What is his username?
Wonderful time.
Yes.
Oh.
So they both have very beautiful, peaceful names. We have Chess Lover against Wonderful Time in this brutal game and brutal format.
Very wholesome.
Yeah, I would rather have Wonderful Time. That's a better name than Chess Lover. I'm sorry.
Very harsh on Mr. Muradli's name here, Maud. Chess Lover. Is he loving the position, though?
I think they're loving it and hating it equally, both of these players. It's probably the driest position I've seen so far today. And actually, in a long time in Title Tuesday, it's totally symmetrical in terms of the pawn structure. White has the bishop pair, but since the center is so blocked, that's not too relevant right now. If Minle wants a draw and wants to play it safe, consolidate his lead in the tournament, he might just take this bishop. It's opposite color bishops. That game's surely going to fizzle out there. If he wants to play for more, he might drop in his other knight, or he might try to double up his rooks. Okay, he pushes a pawn instead. I'm expecting him to try and double his rooks on the open file in the near future. But yeah, I'm predicting draw here. It's hard to imagine anything else.
And if this is a draw, huge chances for those players on 7 points, half a point behind Minle to join him at the top of the standings. Renato Terry, Rovan Vogel, Alexander Bortnik. We will keep an eye on all those. Volodar Mortsin, also on 7 points.
Bortnik has won 4 games in a row, so he
Wow.
must be feeling like he's kind of on a roll. But then after this 8th game, you have this little break, and I feel like then you can kind of like fall out a little bit of the rhythm that you were in. So that will be exciting to see if he can win against Atakan he's playing against.
This is round 9 in game week 9. We have 2 more rounds to go after this one to decide the winner of this game week and who scores 10 points on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. And on the Split 1 leaderboard, the winner of Split 1 gains an additional $5,000 in addition to the money you gain every single week if you win it or place high on the leaderboard. Minle now slightly better.
Yeah, very small advantage. That's because he has knights versus the bishops, and normally I'm very, very biased towards the bishop pair, but on this occasion I will make the exception because this white bishop isn't the most active, and black's knights do a good job of controlling squares. One could jump in at any moment, and actually in 2 different directions to attack some pawns. And Minle, good tip for everyone at home: if you are forced to part with your light squared bishop, put your pawns on light squares to exert some influence there. Pawns on light squares, bishop on dark squares. He's got the perfect formation as he does leap in with his knight. More pawns will start stepping forward. It does feel like white's just too passive here. Muradli, despite the fact he's half a point behind Minle, it feels like he's been the one playing for a draw. And normally when you're doing that with white, the opponent smells weakness. They start to push forward to try and punish you a bit later in the game.
So beginner question, when you do that, that Minle is doing, is one of your goals then also to get the white player's dark squared bishop off the board? Sorry, light squared bishop.
Yes. If, for example, long term, you could trade off this bishop for this knight, or if you can somehow miraculously kind of trade off a couple of sets of bishops and leave a knight versus just one bishop, not part of a pair, then you have an advantage long term. And now he's offering a trade.
Oh.
It's opposite color bishops. I don't know if he should have gone for that yet. Maybe he didn't need to rush. He could have pushed some pawns forward first, but he's still the one pushing. He's still the one asking the questions. What to do about this pawn now? Do you trade? Allow the black bishop to step forward? He does. It does feel like we're getting closer to a draw, though. Level on the time as well. Hard to imagine either side winning.
Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is now on 7.5 points. Same as Minlay, but with a draw here, Minlay will go up to 8 points. Muradli will go up to 7.5 points if nothing dramatic happens, but they also have a lot of time on the clock still.
Yeah, opposite colored bishop endgames are kind of like, it feels like you can mess up quite a bit and it's still going to be okay. So here I would just concentrate on playing as fast as possible because, but they still, this is a lot of time to have in this situation, I would say. They still have more than a minute.
Yeah.
So,
I think that point you mentioned, like you can still mess up a bit and the drawing margin just being very high. If rooks come off, white can even blunder a pawn, maybe 2, and still draw, as you can hold the light squares. But in the meantime, he's going pawn hunting. And this position is about to explode maybe if white does take this pawn and kind of part with his other pawn on the other side of the board. We could see a bit of a race. The king should go forward, never go passive in endgames. Muradli doing the right thing there. And the black rook moves.
It's a win for Jan Nepomniachtchi against Vincent Keimer. Maybe Jan Nepomniachtchi is making a comeback, and maybe he will be fighting to win game week 9.
and he stopped the bleeding at least because he had lost 2 games in a row before that. So it's easy to be discouraged. So in that sense, it's impressive. And to win against Vincent, who is also one of the strongest players in the field, that's promising for Jan.
Yeah, Vincent, in classical terms, would have been the top seed in this event. He's world number 4 right now on the live rankings, Vincent Keimer. He's had an incredible year. But yeah, unfortunately not in today's Title Tuesday. Struggling.
Players have ticked under 1 minute on the clock. Is there any chance of seeing this go down to a time scramble and a winner in flagging?
Yes, I'm going to say Muradli's the favorite now. He is checking the black king somewhat. He's taken a pawn. He's 2 pawns up temporarily. It should still be a dead draw because it looks like rooks might be forced off this board. If the rooks do disappear, then it will be an easy position for Minlay to hold. You can blockade with your king. You can pre-move till the end of time. So if he wants to win, he could have kept the rooks on. But no, Muradli, he's going to try and flag his opponent. 7 seconds down, though, offers a draw, and the game does end peacefully.
A draw between these two, and that means Minlay goes up to 8 points. Still round 9. This is Vogel against Murtzin. And massively better for the rapid world champion.
And look at the clocks. They have so little time and so many pieces and so much chaos.
Oh, and he drops a rook. The white rook dropped there to the black knight. The idea was to hit some of the black rooks there, but the white queen isn't hitting anything that's not already defended, and the white king is the one getting chased around the board. The clock goes red for Vogel. Oh, that's another check. His other rook drops. The second queen appears. We're going to see a resignation. 5 seconds left. Okay, he fights on. He keeps going, but there we go. Murtzin wins.
Wow, and he goes up to 8 points with that score. Another game happening in round 9. It's Renato Terry with 12 seconds against Ashraf. 9 seconds for him.
Oh, queen and knight are so much better than queen and bishop. Black's a pawn up as well. Ashraf's doing very well on the board, but what about the clock? 5 seconds. Oh, Terry throwing away another pawn to try and pre-move that. He got another second off the clock. 7 versus 5. 4, 3 seconds for Ashraf. He's giving all the checks. He's taken all the white pawns. 2 seconds, 1 second. He's going to get flagged, surely now. He needs to give checkmate. He gets checked himself, though. He's about to lose on time. No queen trade. Terry's going to flag him. Surely now. 1 second. How long can you play on for 1 second? And Ashraf still fighting. Gives a check. Drops his queen. And Both clock 0, Terry wins.
Oh, that went down to milliseconds. Wow, a win on the board for Renato Terry. With only milliseconds left on his clock, he takes the full points and he joins Min Lei on 8 points. We now have 4 players on 8 points, you guys. What a finish we're gonna see to game week 9 as we're jumping straight into round 10. It's Min Lei versus Bortnik. It's Merson versus Terry. Which one to follow?
Wow, I think probably Min Lei versus Bortnik, although Nepo versus MVL just behind the leading pack is quite cool too.
Yeah.
We'll go to that game if this one finishes early, but nice to see Bortnik making that rise. Maud, you mentioned that was his 5th win in a row now?
Yeah, it was, because he lost the 4th round, so he's had to kind of like sail up to the top of the table again, but now 5 in a row. Now he's playing against Min Lei, who's been leading the tournament basically the entire time. So this is his chance to pass him.
Fantastic. Alexander Bortnik, the 29-year-old Grandmaster from Ukraine living in the US. He scored a 2nd place in game week 2 when he was streaming from the Take offices. He has 7 Champions Chess Tour points, and 10 points today would mean a lot to Alexander Bortnik, who has won Title Tuesday 13 times in history. And here he is joining us on camera as well. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's been a hard week for Bortnik, and nice to see him competing here at Title Tuesday and trying to play to keep the show going. And he started with a very flexible pawn structure. He's going to fianchetto his bishop, just like his great friend Daniel Naroditsky. He plays the King's Indian defense a lot. That's what he's going for now. And I'm expecting Min Lei to play his favorite London system to bring this bishop out, but very slow start to this game. This is just move 3.
Yeah, they've spent so much time. What are they thinking about? What is there to think about?
Mind games? Hard to explain. Like, nothing's happened, but both players have burnt 45 seconds. I guess they've played each other so many times online that they know each other's opening repertoires. They're trying to trick each other into maybe variations they're not so familiar with. White now is playing a Torre attack with the white bishop coming out, but I don't understand the inclusion of this move.
Yeah.
Pawn to h3. And Bortnik, meanwhile, sipping his tea as if his clock isn't ticking.
He was stretching a bit. Like, it doesn't seem like any of these two have realized that this is a 5-minute game where you don't get any extra time. But this is round 10, and they're both leading, so they probably should have realized that by now.
Yeah.
Why are they spending this much time?
Chill, guys. Look at that. Min Lei, 4 minutes and 15 seconds still on his clock. Bortnik, though, 3.5 minutes now. But the bar is in the middle. You mentioned it's been a tough week for him. He was a very close friend of Daniel Naroditsky.
Yeah, one of his closest, I believe. And they both live in Charlotte. They both play at the Charlotte Chess Club so much. They've played countless Blitz Bullet games together. So, it must have been a tough time.
Definitely for Alexander Bortnik. And of course, our thoughts are still with everyone close to Daniel Naroditsky after he passed away.
And I think chess is like one of those things that's really difficult to play if you are in like a bad mental state, because you're kind of just sitting there thinking. So you can kind of like, it's very, very difficult to play well while you're going through like tough time personally. So it's impressive that he has 8 points today.
He is fighting to win game week 9. Alexander Bortnik, a 2nd place, is his best score so far in the autumn split. Big chance today of winning it for his good friend, Daniel Naroditsky. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, though. I guess that's his biggest issue in this game right now.
Yeah, I'm just confused. It's like still a well-known position, and it's actually transposed into a main line. And like normally, Black just hits this bishop, asks a question. Black can also bring the knight round to the side to try and land in the white camp. But how has he spent more than half his time? There we go. By playing a natural move, he's had no difficult decisions. So if he ends up getting flagged, it's going to be the opening he looks back on. Unfortunately for Bortnik. And there we see it's a bishop for knight trade. Bit surprised he's giving up the bishop pair so willingly. Here, Min Lei, I think he's relying on a trick. Bishop takes bishop, the white queen will step up, forking 2 pawns. So the pawn has to take instead. But this is very good news for Black. He's got the bishop pair. He's going to slide his rook across. It's easy to get rid of your double pawns there. And okay, his position is good, but his clock situation bit
terrible.
desperate.
He's spending so much time.
But he is one of those players who can handle any position with hardly any time on his clock, right? He's just extremely fast and intuition, fantastic.
Yeah, he's always been a speed demon, Bortnik. He was playing on the old Internet Chess Club when he was kind of in his early teens back in the day. He was super dangerous. I remember him having these matches with Magnus Carlsen before anyone even knew who he was. But he's also playing a speed demon in Min-Lei. So
yeah, true.
you can rely on flagging your opponent. You can rely on your speed skills. But if you're up against someone equally quick, you normally want to leave a bit of leeway. And this last move, very, very cunning from Min-Lei. He's trying to take this bishop to destroy the black pawn structure. If the bishop had moved, this pawn was also vulnerable due to a pin against the black king. So the light squares belong to Min-Lei right now.
This is round 10. Remember, 11 rounds every single week. So after this one more round before we have a winner of game week 9. 5 minutes on the clock, no increment. Min-Lei has more than 3 minutes still on his clock. It's trouble for Alexander Bortnik on the clock.
Yeah, but it's very like his own doing because he spent so much time kind of thinking about the situations that haven't really required that much thinking. But at the same time, he has an okay position. So if he can just speed up now and also take an advantage of the fact that Min-Lei has also been playing pretty slowly, then maybe he can make it.
Yeah, the position just looks very, very balanced right now. The black rook enters the fray. I would slightly prefer white just because the white bishop has a lot of potential against the black king on this diagonal. The black bishop is somewhat blunted, hitting a very strong pawn. So I think it's just that one small difference. Then again, the black queen more active than the white queen. And Bortnik, yeah, it's just about the speed. If he can enter the endgame level on time or just only 10 seconds behind, maybe he's got a chance. He just needs to make it there. He needs to get that far. The white queen's going to come out sooner or later, and he has to be ready when that does happen.
And it can be an advantage as well when you have like the opposite colored bishops to attack, because then the opponent can't really defend the same squares that you're attacking. So if maybe Min-Lei can somehow use that bishop that you were already describing towards the king and maybe involve several other pieces. But how is he going to involve more pieces?
Yeah, the queen's been cut off. I don't like white's last move. Maybe he missed that the black knight's actually going to totally block the central file here. And now there's actually a threat of the black rook coming in. Maybe a threat of the black knight even coming in. The last move has definitely gone in Bortnik's favor, but he's got half the time of his opponent. That's all I can think about. I mean, it's been going well for black the last 5-6 moves, but the clock has not been his friend this whole game. And rook trade. There we go. Bishop steps out just to stop the white queen from using the top of the board. Maybe even coming this way to hit the white knight. Very, very tense position. It feels like the winner here is going to be the favorite going into the last round.
Yeah. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave is massively better against Jan Nepomniachtchi with a huge chance of going up to 8.5 points with 1 round to go. If we have a winner in this game, then we will see at least one player on 9 points. Renato Terry and Volodar Mertsin also playing right now, and they also have 8 points heading into round 10.
There's always like this sea of players that kind of catch up to you in these like final rounds. It's always very exciting in the last round who's going to win. And there's always like all these players that we haven't even discussed that suddenly are among the top 10 because it can really change in those final moments.
Mertsin is better right now, much better right now in that game against Renato Terry. So right now, the biggest chance is actually for Volodar Mertsin to take the lead heading into the last round.
Wow, big moments on that board. But on this one, Bortnik was turning things in his favor. He missed that the white pawn could kind of bypass, not allowing en passant, because the black knight would have otherwise been vulnerable. And still a great position for Bortnik, but it's just the clock. He's consistently been at half of Min-Lei's clock time. And now the pawn structure locked. Maybe easy pickings for his bishop, but it is about the clock, unfortunately. 29 seconds now. He needs to start pre-moving. Bishop for knight trade. The white knight is very, very bad right now, but Min-Lei gets a pawn in the process. The black queen swoops in for a pawn. 27 seconds against 50 seconds.
LT Dodger is saying Bortnik is going to flag. He feels confident Bortnik is going to win this, flagging Min-Lei.
Oof. Someone's getting flagged. It's all about the clock.
Min-Lei hasn't really realized how little time he has, though, it seems. Like, he's even thinking in this situation. I've seen that in earlier games as well. Like, he's very obsessed with finding the best moves, even in situations where he should probably just focus on making any move at all.
Yeah, and a shake of the head from Min Lei because he's just dropped a very important pawn.
Yeah.
Bortnik takes another pawn. Will we see a queen trade here? Will we see the white queen take this one? Will the knight take this pawn? The queen actually sidesteps. Oh, Bortnik's just trying to desperately get rid of this one. If it's just pawns on one flank, you can easily pre-move. Oh, he can take a draw as well, but he wants more. He's going for the win, Bortnik. He attacked the queen. He could have given a check and taken this pawn.
What is happening?
He's trying to promote. He's still got this up his sleeve. He's still giving this check. He's still making a new queen. There we go. He makes the new queen first, and he's going to skewer the white queen from behind. Beautiful tactics. Min Lei smiling. He knows he's lost. Bortnik up the speed, and he's winning on time and with an extra queen now.
He was admiring the tactic. He was like, wow, you got me.
Look at Alexander Bortnik. He is about to take the lead in game week 9, winning 6 games in a row.
So impressive. And look at the technique here. He's going to pre-move his pawn to make a new queen. He's going to give checkmate there and fist pump from Alexander Bortnik.
Look at that fist bump. Alexander Bortnik wins this. Huge win for him. He goes up to 9 points to join Volodar Mertsin, who also won in round 10. We now have 2 players on 9 points. Oh, look at Min Lei. The frustration has been in the lead in game week 9 the entire day. But now he has to face that he is half a point behind 2 players in the lead, Mertsin and Bortnik, heading into the final round. Will we see? They haven't played each other yet, have they?
No.
We're going to get a grand finale, I think.
Oh, that's what we love to see.
No, they haven't.
Yep.
They haven't.
We will see. Alexander Bortnik with the white pieces playing against the world rapid champion Volodar Mertsin. What opening will we see? If we have a winner in this game, that player will be the winner of game week 9. With a draw, still chances for Mohamed Muradli and Maxim Vagielagrav on 8.5 points.
Wow, and it's the Jabava London system with the white knight coming out, the white bishop coming out. This might be in tribute to his great friend Daniel Naroditsky because they did co-author a course, Bortnik and Naroditsky, on this opening. It was the favorite of both of them. They played it for years online successfully and helped to popularize this one, which is now rife among all levels of chess. Beginner level, club level, tournament level, top level. This is one of the most popular openings nowadays. And here we see the white knight jumping forward. I've actually had this position against Bortnik myself in a World Blitz Championship in 2016, I think.
How'd it go?
I won with black. But
Nice.
that was not the point of the story. That was not the point of the story. It was more about the fact that he's been playing this for years. And it's nice to see him kind of sticking true to his favorite openings. In that game, he pushed this pawn forward to hit my bishop. So he's trying something new this time. And he's allowing a knight trade, allowing a bishop trade. We'll see a very stable position. And yeah, it's going to be curious. If this is a draw, who will be the favorite on tiebreak? Are they going to risk it? Are they going to go for the win?
They have exactly the same tiebreaks, it seems like, right now. They both have, they have the exact same tiebreaks. So it's going to come down to whether or not the different opponents they faced early on are going to leave the tournament, which I think is like the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it's what motivated me to not leave the tournament. But not that anyone I played against was in the top anyways, but still.
Well, you never know. Heading into round 11, final round, it was Mertsin on top, but they could actually be completely equal heading into this round. And nevertheless, winning is the best way of securing your game week 9 victory. Both players on 4 minutes on the clock. Oh, what is that reaction from Bortnik?
Oh, I think he's saying that is a bad move from his opponent. Too slow. And he's flexing, stretching. What's he going to do?
Too slow, but he's spending even more time. Or too slow as in...
Too slow as in on the board.
Okay,
but
okay.
On the clock, he's been too slow, Bortnik. Although he clearly has other gears. And wow, I'm very surprised he didn't bring his queen out. Now he does.
It's very funny to be like, your move was bad, and then just play h3, and then be like, chew on that one.
Yeah, was that a mouse slip? I don't know. I don't understand h3. Like giving the white king some breathing space in case of back rank checkmates for later, maybe. But very interesting play from Bortnik. I would love to see a white rook later on. It takes a while to set up, but kind of lift up the board to try and create some attacks. Maybe he's going to step forward. Oh, he's going for it. Not a good move according to the eval bar, but I like the idea.
And it can often be good to just have like a several move plan when you need to kind of come up with some stuff and the time is running quickly. Then if you have some plan, it's better than no plan. So here he at least has these rook moves that he can play quite quickly.
Yeah, one of the rooks could slide up the board now just to try and probe at the black king side to try and create some weaknesses. Very tense position though. And Mertzin does quite enjoy these types of positions where he has long-term strategic goals. The idea for black is to at some point trade pawns, maybe plant a strong black knight in the center on an outpost. He likes to survive these types of positions and then only later try to outplay his opponents. Interesting that he took back with the pawn. I would definitely have taken back with the black knight and that on the center there. Now it's a French defense pawn structure where black is very solid on the light squares, but white has a bit more space. And there we go, the rook lift. He's coming for the black king.
Mohamed Muradli and Maxim Vachier-Lagrave are both on 8.5 points. They are playing against each other right now. MVL is right now slightly better with the white pieces in that game. And of course, if we have a winner in that game that goes up to 9.5 points, then who knows who will win game week 9. But if these two players have it in their own hands, a win in this game means you win Title Tuesday game week 9.
It's always interesting in that final round who chooses to kind of go for like these tactical draws. Usually in the last round, I feel like you have to win to guarantee yourself anything because there are so many players. There's almost 400 that are playing today. So you really need as many points as possible and you don't want to really compete just on tie breaks even. You just want to win on your own.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've never seen Bortnik bail out with a draw.
No.
He's a really fighting player. He's another, just like his good friend, he loves chess, fights so hard, tries to take chances. He's tried to go for checkmate. Now he's reminding black that this pawn might be weak. It's undefended right now. Volodar Mertzin is locked in on white central pawn in the meantime. That can be defended by the bishop stepping back or the rook sliding across. Expecting the black knight to drop back. There we go. Doubling up on white's base of the pawn chain there, which is defended by the white knight. Everything's gravitating towards the black king, though, so I do feel that in practical terms, white has good attacking chances, although the eval bar says black is better now. Very interesting. Maybe the black bishop comes out to attack the white rook. I was going to say the black queen could come and exert even more pressure in the center. That might be next on the agenda. The white rook steps back in the at first here. The black rook entering. Oh, I don't know. It's a Bortnik type of position. I just have a feeling. Look at how many pieces he's bringing towards the black king. Still not at their final destinations, but looking so ominous. This is very scary times for Mertzin, who goes back with his bishop, losing some momentum.
Bortnik has ticked under 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, and now Mertzin better on the bar.
But it's swinging back and forth.
It is. What a game.
And Bortnik has won 6 games in a row. Can he make it 7 and then kind of win the tournament with that? That would be such an amazing comeback from a slightly disappointing start to the tournament.
Yeah, it's often the case that the winner is a player who's gone on a massive streak. Either at the beginning, you kind of take the lead and you never let it go, or you storm from behind. And it's very rare to see instead a player like up and down go on to win. It's all about momentum in these tournaments. And look at those black pieces. I've never seen a more passive black queen, rook and king, just huddled, hiding behind their pawn chain. And okay, the bishop drops back. That's not even just to defend some pawns. It's also to clear a square for the white knight, potentially. Oh, eval bar says level, but someone's about to blunder. This is just such a tense position right now. The black rook steps back, kicked.
Oh, it's almost trapped.
Oh, it's going to have to come back where it came from, but that's a loss of time. There we go. Can Bortnik rearrange his pieces? He wishes his pawn wasn't on h3 so he could slide his rook across. Apparently a mistake now. But, oh, that's why knight takes pawn. The white rook is overloaded. It wants to take this knight. It does take this knight, but it drops its bishop now. Pawn up for Mertzin. That's a big pawn to win as well in the center. You can see Bortnik not too happy on the camera.
Now he is much better. Mertzin with a win here. He wins Title Tuesday game week 9.
And Maxim Vachier-Lagrave has won the 11th round against Muradli, so he has 9.5 points right now.
9.5 points for Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. That means a draw in this game. And we have 3 players on 9.5 points. And Bortnik is now ticking down to 1 minute. Only slightly better for Mertzin, though. Any result possible here?
Any result still possible, because it's one of those blunders where the game goes on. Luckily, you're a pawn down, but you still have queens on, you still have an attack. And he's sliding his queen across now. But I think he's setting up some nasty checkmates. Watch out, queen there. If you can block the bishop somehow, you might get some lawnmower, kind of ladder checkmates on the side of the board. Mertzin defends actively, brings his queen out. He's going to try and force a queen trade in the near future, Mertzin. If the queens come off, oh, there we go. If the queens come off, black is winning, but knight takes. Do not take this pawn with your, do not take this knight even with your pawn. There would be a queen takes pawn sacrifice and a rook sliding across with a checkmate. That is the threat. Queen takes pawn, checkmate. Black surely only has one move now. I think you just have to take that knight off with your bishop. Only way to survive. Only way to cling on, because you defend this square in the process. The white
Spending a lot of time.
Oh, he's allowed it! He's allowed it!
Whoa, he does it! Look at Bortnik! Look at that celebration! He has mate in one. The game is over. Alexander Bortnik wins Title Tuesday, Game Week 9. That amazing celebration. This means so much to him. He takes 10 points in the Champions Chess Tour. Huge win in this game and in Title Tuesday. The winner of Game Week 9 is Alexander Bortnik. Oh, that's fantastic to see his reaction, a smile on his face. And he's been to a very difficult time. One of the closest friends of Daniel Naroditsky. This must mean a lot for Alexander Bortnik.
And what a stylish way to win.
Oh my, incredible stuff.
More material for your chess column, David.
I know. Queen sacrifice galore. We saw Min Lei do it, but Bortnik went one better. And yes, he was slightly worse just before that happened, but he made his own luck. He made it happen by taking risks, by attacking, throwing all of his opponents, throwing all of his pieces at the opponent. And yeah, that celebration said it all. Like Mertzin collapsed under the pressure because Bortnik brought his A game when it mattered.
What a beautiful smile. What a beautiful celebration. Alexander Bortnik wins Game Week 9. And he wins 7 games in a row.
Yeah.
What a story. What a sign of fighting spirit and never giving up.
And despite spending like so much time in the opening, and he was kind of lingering for a bit, and it was a game that was a bit all over the place, but then he still manages to be on the hunt for the opponent's king and makes like such a brilliant sacrifice in the very end. Now that was a very worthy way of winning the tournament, I would say.
He was in the Take offices streaming from the Dave Cave in Game Week 2. He also then took 2nd place behind Magnus Carlsen with some really cool celebrations. And he is one of those players that it just feels very nice that he wins it, David.
Yeah, it feels appropriate. And yeah, without getting emotional, I know his great friend would approve of the way he played today. And yeah, incredible play. 7 in a row. Like, yeah, and the style. I think it's a perfect way to round off today's Game Week 9.
I agree. Alexander Bortnik, Grandmaster from Ukraine, wins with 10 points in Game Week 9. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave takes 2nd place with 9.5 points, and then we have 4 players on 9 points. I'm also going to check the country standings. All right, look at that. Eventually, India takes it in Game Week 9 with Iran on 2nd place. Norway, top 10 mod.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I mean, we are surrounded by the US, and we came in front of China. I mean, these are great chess nations. So I am very proud of Norway today without Magnus. Imagine when he's back.
Exactly. Yeah. Those were the country standings. But the winner of Game Week 9, scoring 10 points also in the Champions Chess Tour, is Alexander Bortnik. We are trying to get a hold of him to get a comment from the winner of Game Week 9. This means he goes up to 17 points in the Champions Chess Tour. And he's much, much closer now to Magnus, to Hikaru, to Alireza Firouzja, the players at the top of the standings. We're also trying to get a hold of Maxim Vachier-Lagrave, who takes 2nd place, and he's ready. Maxim, congratulations with a great result today.
Thank you, Kaya.
It's good to see you, Maxim. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't been too regular on Title Tuesdays so far because of events and such things. But it's good to be back. It's a nice event to play for training, and here it also has qualification purposes.
Exactly. You scored 7 points today in the Champions Chess Tour with your second place. How important is it for you to qualify for the Esports World Cup?
Quite important. It's of course also very important for team vitality. So they advise me to be more regular. But I'm doing what I can, according to my schedule, and I'm hoping to do well every time I play. I think it's my third Title Tuesday, and I scored well twice. So it's very good ratio, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah. A third place in game week 4, and here you are with a second place. So next week, maybe first place.
Next week, it's not clear because I'll be playing the World Cup. So maybe I can join if my game finishes early. We'll see.
And exactly your schedule going forward. So one ambition is to qualify for Esports World Cup, but what other plans do you have, and what are you focusing on these days, Maxim?
Yeah, World Cup is obviously his main focus. And then I'll have a bit of tight schedule also in December, but it will be, I would say, more like casual, except, of course, for the World Rapid and Blitz at the end of the year in Doha. But lots of exciting events. I must say this year was quite busy. I had some rest in October, but now the crazy frenzy resumes.
Yeah, it is going to be a hectic chess calendar going forward. And of course, playing World Cup, top 3 players go on to qualify for the candidates. Is that a huge goal for you, Maxim, and potentially winning candidates and playing the World Championship match?
Of course, it's a goal. I've very rarely played the candidates, so obviously it's something that I still want to do to achieve, and I feel like when I do play elite events, I do pretty well. So I feel like if I manage to qualify to candidates, and I often did very well in World Cup, so I'll be trying to repeat that. And then if I manage, who knows what can happen, but that's looking very far away in the future. Anyway,
I didn't hear if you mentioned the World Rapid and Blitz Championship, but are you going there too? So you're planning on playing?
Going there.
Okay, fantastic. And, and trying to get back your World Blitz title then.
I haven't had it for a while. I think it's been the property of Magnus for a long time now, but we'll see. I'll be trying my best, at least.
Fantastic. Maxim, it's so good to see you again and to hear from you and hear your plans. I also want to just ask you a question about, of course, the big focus in chess these days after the very horrible passing of Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. What are your thoughts and your feelings after this?
It was like... I didn't know Dania personally, but it was still awful to hear, and I had a few days where, somehow, looking at all these messages from his friends and and people who knew him, it was really heartbreaking to see, and that such a loved person, and for very good reasons, would go into such a state. It was horrible to see, and of course we have to see the responsibilities of basically Vladimir Kramnik. This he definitely went too far, and I would like to congratulate his friend Alexander Bortnik, who actually won Title Tuesday this week, and it's very fitting and very deserved.
Fantastic. Maxim, thank you so much for those words, and congratulations on your big second place today.
Thank you, Kaya.
And we are joined by the winner of Game Week 9, Alexander Bortnik. Huge performance, 7 wins in a row, and first place. Congratulations.
Hi, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm using my phone. It's some technical issues had from my computer. I couldn't join. Yeah, thank you so much.
What does this mean to you, Alexander?
Means a lot. That's my first title Tuesday this year. Even before the upgrade, I don't know. And this, just tough time right now after what happened. I'm happy I could find a good showed a good chess and won this tournament.
Yeah. Is it okay I ask a question about the whole situation with Daniel? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure. You can ask any questions.
We all know, of course, that he was a very, very dear and close friend to you. How have you been since it happened?
It's very difficult. Also, as you know, I'm just one who found him, and yeah, I'm trying to live, and it's very hard. All of this, it's sudden and very sad. He was greatest guy. So he was best my friend, and this world is much emptier without him.
Have you found some comfort in all the beautiful words that's being written about Daniel, everything that's being said about him, the obvious legacy that he leaves on the chess world? Do you find any comfort in that?
I will, try to keep his legacy. Also, we work together on the course on King's Indian defense. So we're not finished, unfortunately, but I probably will finish by myself and will publish that by here, Honor.
Definitely looking forward to that. Now, winning title Tuesday today, such short time after it all happened, does it feel good to do that in a tournament in a format that Daniel was also just fantastic in?
Yeah, the feeling is good. I got actually lucky in some first games, like 3 of them I was completely losing and somehow won. Against Kravtsev, he just blundermate in one when I have Rook Knight against Rook. And I just checkmated him on the center. That surprised me a lot. So even in the end, like last game, Volodar just blundermate as well. So I got really lucky this tournament. But I think without luck, it's impossible just to win.
Wow.
It has to be something, one game or a couple games, when you have to have some luck.
Exactly. Well, you make your own luck, right? And winning title Tuesday in such an incredible field as well. And it was amazing to see your reactions today. This was, of course, against Volodar Mertsin, the celebration here. What is that about?
Hope you didn't hear it, actually. That was so loudly. Yeah, that was so loudly. I don't know. I mean, I saw that Queen H7, but I see that Bishop F6 could take, and it didn't work. So I was so happy, that's the end of the tournament. Like Magnus, when he beat Karek in the last game, he was sacrificed the queen and checkmated him in the last game. So that's not the same, but similar some. So.
I love it. Yeah. Fantastic reaction and winning 7 in a row. I mean, that shows some stamina, some fighting spirit. Do you feel proud as well?
I haven't counted actually. Yeah, you said it, and now I figured out. Yeah, actually, I won 7 in a row. Yeah, that's good. I really hate in draws. Sometimes better. Okay, not better lose than draw, but I always trying to win, and that's why I lost a lot of time I'm losing as well. So, but not today. Today was luckier than everyone else.
Well, and better, ending up with the win here. And you scored 10 points in the Champions Chess Tour, now on 17 points. You're super close to Magnus, Hikaru, to the way top there. Do you see now big chances of actually qualifying for Esports World Cup?
Well, this could be awesome. It's actually my dream to play there. But these monsters, they're so good. We got lucky. They played tournament actually, so they didn't play today. Magnus and Hikaru as well. Maybe here they will, not compete in the next tournament as well. So we'll see. Then maybe we have chances.
Definitely. Alexander, it's been fantastic to see your celebrations today and a big smile on your face. What's happening forwards for you? What's your focus going to be?
I gonna play after party arena today. I just recognized that today's tournament started 1 hour later for me.
Ah, yes.
So usually it starts at 11, but I'm playing 12. I thought, why am I not sleepy then? So maybe it could be nice if they reschedule it for all the time at 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But next week you guys were on the same time again. So next week back to 10.
Yeah. to 11 a.m. Unfortunately. Too early to play chess, for playing chess.
Seems to be the mood of chess players. Alexander, thank you so much for joining us, and just massive congratulations from all of us on your big win today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. Alexander Bortnik, he wins Game Week 9. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave takes second place. We've had a streamer in the house today, Håvard Haug. He's had some fantastic results. We're going to bring him into the studio. But first, let's remind ourselves what happened when he beat David Howell earlier this year.
He opens with 1e4 and I reply with a Caro Khan. Quick trade of pawns. My knight comes out, and after a bit of a think, Håvard goes for one of the bravest lines in chess, the alien gambit. Sacrificing a knight for a pawn, bringing my king out. This was actually something I'd studied not long before this game, so I was feeling pretty confident. As you can see on the eval bar, black is massively better. Big advantage. It's not a sound line, the alien gambit, but it's become famous as a meanie opening. Bit of a fun one, popular among players of lower levels as they try to attack their more experienced opponents. And Håvard, he knew my style. He knew I don't like defending. Look at all my pieces though. They're in perfect spots for now. And it was here though. The first real dilemma sank in. My clock ticking felt faster than ever. I lost over 1.5 minutes as I pondered what to do. I gave my opponent a pawn, but I continued thinking. Right now, black has an extra knight. Only 2 pawns in return for white, but white's pieces, especially the queen, very active. You can see on the eval bar, white is totally winning though. Pawns disappearing still. One final attempt. I take a pawn, but a series of checks is going to end it. Check, check. One final check. Queen's being traded, and I had to resign. Devastation. Heartbreak.
Bad memories for David Howell, but great memories from you of seeing that again, beating David a few months ago.
Yeah, it was a very good game.
Yeah, with the alien gambit as well. Very brave. Yeah.
Thank you.
And congratulations also on your performance today. Some really, really good wins. What has it been like?
Yeah, I'm very happy that I beat Andreikin, and also I drew Andrew Tang and some other good players. It's always annoying to lose the last game, but 7 points is still good.
It's amazing. And you were really on a roll, especially in the start there. You were one of the players in the top there with perfect scores, and especially after a win against Andreikin. Were you feeling confident at that point?
Yeah, of course. I wanted to get even more points, but it happens. 7 points is still good.
It's amazing. What's been the highlight? Was it the Andreikin game?
Yeah, of course.
Take us through it. What were you thinking? What happened? And how were you able to actually beat one of the best players in the world?
Yeah, I won a pawn quite early, and then I got my rook into his position, and then he used a lot of time, and it was very difficult for him. And then at some point he blundered, but I played almost perfect that game, so I'm very happy.
And you played in Magnus Carlsen's chair today. What was that like?
Yeah, it's also very cool to play where Magnus has played many, many times.
What has he meant to you growing up with him as a world champion? How much of an inspiration has he been?
Yeah, he's been a great idol for me, and I've watched him my whole childhood.
And you're only 15. You have your whole career in front of you. We know you're traveling to Qatar to play the World Blitz Championship. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, of course I'm very excited. It's the first World Rapid and Blitz I've played. And yeah, I hope to beat some strong players there also.
Fantastic. What is your dreams, your goals when it comes to chess?
First, I want to become a Grandmaster, of course, and then I'll take it from there.
But we've been discussing here today and even wondering, are you even considering specializing in Rapid and Blitz, since we see how incredibly good you are in this format already?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I want to become good in all formats.
Yeah, fantastic. Sounds like a good plan. He's really impressed you today, David.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I first heard about you when I moved to Norway, I've been following your games. Of course, very impressed earlier this year, but as well played today. And yeah, we'll be rooting for you in Qatar at the World Rapid and Blitz. You can do it.
Definitely.
Take some scalps.
Yeah, definitely. Other than that, are you focusing now mainly on chess, or is it, you know, school? Is that still important? Is there other?
Yeah.
It's both. Do you play any other sports?
No, not any other sports. I focus on chess.
You focus on chess. Fantastic. All right, Håvard, are you going to keep playing Title Tuesday now? Will we see you now as a regular in the tournament?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
All right.
Hope so.
We hope you will. It's been very fun to follow you. Congratulations on a great performance. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start rounding up from Gameweek 9. And it's been a fantastic day. Alexander Bortnik takes it. And we're going to start rounding up the Premier League of Chess.
Look at him, he's so excited right now.
Fantastic, massively better. Håvard, the 15-year-old from Norway.
Oh, stalemate. You can give up your rook. If it's taken now, the Black King is trapped and it's not in check. He might save himself, Sarana. He does. Stalemate saves him. Just as you say that, Esipenko, he pre-moves, he gets his pawn through. The black pawn now is making a new queen. It's a time scramble, but surely the checks with the black queen are going to decide this game. Pre-move time, pre-move central, 2 seconds versus 3 seconds. And second a queen appears, totally winning for black, but does he have enough time left to win it? 1 second each, who's going to take it? 0 on Bradley's clock. Look at those queens dancing, and Esipenko wins on time. He's going to get flagged, surely now. He needs to give checkmate. He gets checked himself, though. He's about to lose on time. No queen trade. Terry's going to flag him. Surely now. 1 second. How long can you play on for 1 second? And Ashraf still fighting. Give to check. Drops his queen. And both got 0. Terry wins.
So many amazing moments today. A lot of action. I'm not going to forget David's comment on the most beautiful tactical move I've seen this season.
Yeah, beautiful queen sacrifice by Minlay. If you haven't seen it, everyone, go check it out against Nepomniachtchi to take down one of the best players in the world.
Incredible. What's been the highlight for you today, Maud?
I think that the Undraken game with Håvard was like, go Norway. I was very proud to be Norwegian, even when we didn't have Magnus playing. So that was a great moment for me.
Exactly. And just showed us the spirit of Title Tuesday. The underdogs, the kids, the youngsters, they can still win these huge moments, these big games. Fantastic to see. And of course, the winner eventually is Alexander Bortnik, and that just feels like such a deserved and beautiful winner in the time that we are in now.
Yeah, I mean, the chess gods, I think they made it happen. Like, he mentioned luck. He made his own luck, of course, but so nice the style he did it in as well. The final move of his tournament, again, if you haven't seen it, if you're just joining us, queen takes h7, queen sacrifice to end it, to win Title Tuesday. It couldn't have been written better, and felt like it was written in the stars.
Exactly. And he scores 10 points, Alexander Bortnik, for winning today, and that takes him up to 17 points. He is towards the top of the standings. Magnus Carlsen will still be in the lead overall with 37 points. Hikaru 25, Alireza Firouzja 25. But players have definitely gotten closer to those players today, and let's hope they will be back next week to fight for more points in Title Tuesday. What a day.
Yeah, it's been fun. I can't wait till next Tuesday now.
I agree. I agree. Game week 10 is coming up in a week. We hope you guys will join us again for more action, more time trouble, more blunders, more beautiful tactical moves. Maud, thank you so much for joining in the studio today.
Thank you for letting me kind of be behind the scenes. Because I'm usually looking at you guys when we're doing our broadcast in Norwegian. We have like the pictures of your studio. So now I know how everything works here.
And it's meant to be. Wearing red, matching the studio.
Yeah, that was actually on purpose.
Chess player thinking. I love it. All right, you guys, we wish you guys a great week. And we'll see you again when Tuesday comes in a week. Bye for now.
Here we go.